Okay. That was the intro. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the first ever podcast for the Yin and Yang show. We have myself and Yang here. He doesn't have a profile picture, but he will in the future. I promise. I swear.
Maybe.
But yes, so we are making this first episode podcast to talk about the recent restricted band list that has been updated. There we are. Do you want to get back? Do you want to get straight into it, or do you got something you want to add first?
No, not really. We could just jump right into it, honestly.
Nah, we're just gonna go with it, and yeah, Rogue Dog, and I got you. Well, the first and the obvious one, I'm gonna pull it up. I can I zoom? Let's see if we can. Ooh, we don't want that. There we go. Oh, we can cover up. You can see that fine or no?
Give me a minute, huh? Oh, yeah, I can see it.
Okay, but yeah. So first one we're gonna talk about is the obvious one that people knew was gonna happen was Ukamon, but surprisingly it wasn't the searcher. It was the one that gains the memory.
I mean, yeah. I mean, that makes sense why they would hit the memory instead of the searcher.
And besides that one, it's a double hitter because they also did the tamer that goes well with it.
Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah.
Honestly, it sounds about right. It sounds fair too. Because like Nubamon, you utilize both of those. And then the Agumon. Not Agumon, the Gabumon, my bad.
Okay.
So I mean, it kind of slows those decks down.
Yeah. Now I'm gonna do this one because this one, like when I first looked through the list, it threw me way off, and maybe you can help me why they put it on here. But Hammer Spark.
Oh, Hammer Spark?
Yes, that's the one that threw me way off.
I mean, you get what? A memory for nothing?
Oh.
There's no drawback.
Yeah, that's true. And then if it's in security, that's 2 memory. Okay.
Well, yeah, because I mean, remember Ice Wall has the same thing. You hit it gained 2 memories. So I mean, it kind of messes with the plays, which I don't see. Like for other colors like yellow, green, purple, and I think black and white, like they don't have really no protection over security. Only red basically does with the BT1, War Greymon, and Aldermon. So
swing with your ancient into security. They'll be like, haha, you hit my ice you hit my Hammer Spark. They'll be like, what Hammer Spark? Doesn't activate.
Insignificant funds.
Yeah. Insignificant. IRS comes to collect. We'll take that to memory. Next on our list. Speaking of yellow, we're just gonna go right into that one. Actually, no, we're going to Nubamon because you mentioned Nubamon first.
Yeah, the
boy himself, which another one that a lot of people called for.
Yeah.
So explain to me this one, like how bad was Numamon X Antibody? I never saw a lot of it in the locals we went to.
Oh, that we go to? Well, I remember playing Nubamon for the very first time with Emperor.
Yeah.
It kind of threw me off because I'm like, not a lot of people played it in our locals and stuff like that, besides that one player.
Yeah.
But once it's like that deck was really hard. If you were playing any other deck, it was hard to play against. If you were playing red, you kind of like had an advantage because of Crimson Blaze, of course.
I thought it was because red was slightly faster. Because isn't it like they ramp up too fast?
It's more like when they die, when most of their little guys died.
Stuff.
Yeah, they have ondulation to get the play out more.
I got you.
So like Crimson Blaze kind of like just shut that deck down, you know. Okay. So when I played against what's his name with his, I did it with in my hybrid deck at the time. It was like 2 Crimson Blaze, 3 Atomic Infernos, and like 2 Gravity Crush. Which also, like, if you really look at it, it's like, yeah, you pay 0 for Gravity Crush to gain 2, but the drawback is your
You
opponent
lose
gains
that
too.
too.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
So
eventually,
I
like
think
you gotta like take out that loan, but you gotta make sure you pay that loan back.
yeah, you got to be smart with it. So I
Yeah,
think that's also going back to the last one was Hammer Spark. There was no
yeah.
drawback. But with Nubamon, going back to Nubamon, it was a deck that you need to find a way to shut down them going wide.
Okay,
So
okay.
decks had to play either if you could play Death X or well Emperor wouldn't even done nothing really because like the rookies could still attack, but like Death X would have probably been like a tech card, and it was so much that the deck itself just got a lot of things for free. Hence, I think they give the reason why it says the reason states above. Expect this card, yeah, around like a largely role in the deck. So that was like a main card for that deck. So basically, it's like Rookie Rush. Remember when we had Rookie Rush running rampant at local?
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the one guy with that. Yeah,
It was like that.
which it would explain why this and this got hit because
Mm,
that would have helped Rookie Rush a lot.
yeah, yeah.
That makes sense. Another one that it wasn't a big surprise because I didn't know that much about it. It gave me a heart attack because I thought it was the one that I run in Mother,
Mm,
which is the 3-drop TK. It's not the one that I
mm,
do. It's another one that helps with the Angel deck.
mm-hmm.
But the reasoning was because it helps with memory, gaining too much memory.
Yeah, yes and no. I feel like they just did that as like a soft reasoning.
Yeah.
Magnamon played it, like the Magnamon X vaccine. It spam like Magnamon
Oh,
was
that's
able to
right, because
do
it's a
so much.
vaccine. I forgot
Hmm
it was a vaccine.
So like you'll go into your level 4, you'll
Yeah,
like play Patamon, go search, get Magnamon X, go for 4, go past to 1. TK will go tap, gain a memory back. You swing with, if you swing with your Magnamon or not,
yeah,
I don't, whatever's your cup of tea, but you swing with it. If you're playing the aggressive version, you go boom, do the whole wobble combo, and then you hit it with the 3-drop. Excuse me. Hit him with the 3-drop, and then all of a
yeah.
sudden you got Magnamon X, and then all the
Oh,
shenanigans.
so okay, that would explain why they hit them both. So like this TK probably worked well with the next card on the list, which
Uh
was the
huh.
option card.
Yep.
Okay, that's why they hit them both.
Mm-hmm.
You would think instead of like because like TK here, it's for the Magnamon, but also for the Angel deck. You would think it would be the circumstance with the stun deck, where instead of limiting both of these, it would just they would have that
One or
that
the
one
other.
yeah, the new ruling will like you can play 4 of these, but you can't have this in your deck, or you can have this, but you can't have this. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think the problem would have been is like the I guess the potential chances of like just not stalling, but
Yeah.
it would have opened more creativities. But a lot of people probably would have found another way to spam a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Now, I wish I had some kind of button here for cheering and celebration because it's not all bad news. It's not all bad news here in the restricted list because freedom. Somebody broke out. Somebody paid his bail, and one of the Gobblebons have broken out.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I thought it was pretty cool. I might actually, because if I remember the inheritable with what is a draw and a discard, and it's
Yeah.
something I could definitely use in my Otismon,
Mm-hmm.
because that could definitely help me out.
It actually is going to bring back. I feel like it's not going to bring back like at full power, but it's going to give the purple Garurumon a chance to have its spotlight. You know what I mean? 'Cause it never really everybody played the blue and purple or the purple blue variant.
Yeah.
Now we have a chance to actually see what people can come up with just a purple variant of an Agumon. Keep saying Agumon, but Gabumon and
It's
stuff like
because you
that.
keep saying Agumon. It's because you're a red player, so you like playing Agumon. You don't do
Yeah, Agumon is like
that much.
one of my G's.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know, so
yeah. That's the ban list right there. Any
I
eh,
swore there was more. I feel like there should have been
no,
more.
that was it. I mean, not that I could think of. I mean, are you surprised or not disappointed, but like shocked they didn't add both Ukamons to the list?
I honestly I felt like they should have just think they should have hit it. They can't. They shouldn't hit both. Honestly, if you look at the generic, like if you go back to the first, yeah, if you go
Yeah,
back to the promo one, just like I was playing with Shy, and
yeah.
like she'll promote gain of memory, then play Hammer Spark gain of memory, and it was just like, yo, you just gain a lot of memory for
Okay,
no
yeah,
reason.
that okay, so that would explain why,
Yeah,
again, this and now I see. Now that you mention it, I see
yeah,
why this and this, they both got limited.
yeah.
That,
She was
that
thinking
makes
about
sense.
adding what was it? Ukamon into Mirage, and I'm like, no, 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 no.
I feel like there's got to be a meme now where like him was it's the Pirates of the Caribbean meme was like was the people on the nooses and like Hammer's luck is just like, man, I'm here because I just gained one memory back, and then you see Ice Wall just like first time,
Right? But I mean,
first time.
Ice Wall was kind of broken because, like, just imagine you, like, remember when we saw back in the day where they was that three or whatever, and they would like play three Ice Walls, and you like,
Oh yeah, because
what was the reason?
I remember Matt had that in his hybrid deck because
Yeah,
it was after that got restricted. That was when you didn't we stopped seeing a lot of blue hybrid.
yeah, and like the problem with that be like what players, I feel like what players don't realize is that these ban lists goes based off of popularity.
Yeah,
You
Alan,
know,
what's up, bro? I see your comment. I see you. I see you. Much love.
you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
there's it go based off of popularity and stuff. So it's more like, how about y'all stop neck decking and like really try to go out and discover new ways to play the game.
yeah,
You know, especially if you spent a lot of money. I feel real bad for the people who are like buying all types of like Ukaman. Now they got limit to what, like, so down to one. Like, you, what are you gonna do with the other three? You gonna sell them? Now the
uh,
market's gonna be over flooded with it. Then you ain't
that
making your
is
full
true.
value.
That definitely is
Like,
true. Like luckily I got rid of mine when I did because it got me an alternate Davis and Matt as well as a Omnimon Ace.
mm, like, I don't know. But the searching one, I feel like the searching one is, there's
Oh
a
yeah,
drawback. You pay for one
yeah.
when you
Because like
digivolve.
now
So,
now that I think about it, like the search is fine because it's what it is. It's a searcher, and it's not like you search gain a memory hatch. It's mostly just you search, and then isn't it you gain a memory, or is it you
no,
hatch?
you hatch.
Oh,
So
that's what
you,
it was. That's what it
yeah.
was. Yeah,
So you get, you pay for one memory, and then
yeah,
when
and
next
then
turn you search is like a built-in searcher. So all every turn you're plussing one. You know what I mean? Until someone
yeah,
addresses it. But like even then, it's like, I don't I don't know. Like, I just feel like it slows the game down. They needed to slow the game down because it was just gonna go back to a hybrid. This is what I was saying to telling people at locals. All right, everybody looking at the next set, the future sets and stuff, like all tamers now,
yeah,
shoutmon and all that, right? But everybody's forgetting that one deck that ruled the whole meta when we were in this meta. History is repeating itself.
which one's that?
It's going to be Blackboard Greymon. Blackboard Greymon is going to come back with Hades Force, the
Oh
OG
yeah,
Black.
yeah.
You know, it's just
What's
going to kill the tamers.
the other thing too is like Black Will Greymon, or you have just those the few other decks too that kill tamers. Not much, because
Hmm.
from my knowledge, just Black Will Greymon with Hades Force, or it was you and Shy that got witness to it, was Myotismon. When the big boss comes out and his effect is you can, pop a Digimon or a tamer.
Yeah, but it's like, how consistent can you get it to go off? You know what I mean? That's
Uh
when decks are really going to get really like cookie cutter type.
yeah.
You know, it's like when we was playing Dragon Ball Super.
Yeah.
Remember how, like, when we built the deck, it's like you could put all the spontaneous things, but like with all those spontaneous, it just kind of like compromised the deck. But
Yeah.
when we decided to make it a cookie cutter, like, these are the four generic cards we need in the deck, these a little bit help it, blah blah blah, this and that and the third, and then all of a sudden the consistency just flows nicely. You
Yeah,
know,
like with because I know my oldest mom. One of the things is it doesn't like you don't need rookies as much
Mm,
It's the main bosses are you have the level fives for blockers and searching through your deck retaliation. You have I think my oldest mon ace again for blockers, and then you have the level sixes, and then you got options that can bring them from the trash. Like basically your trash becomes your hand.
yeah. So then it gives like Myotismon a little chance of fighting back with the ban
Yeah.
list, and also give Diabormon a chance to use Doomsday Clock.
Yep.
It gives a lot of decks a chance to fight back because everything was just so fast. It was
Yeah.
just like, what can you possibly do? Like even now, like before even the list came out, I built Ancient Garuru for Shy and stuff like that. Sadly, the Ukamon that we were using was the memory one, but
Yeah.
either way she go about it, she could use either version. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because either
So,
or could help her out. Because
oh
like
yeah,
that's
the
like
other one will be a little bit more efficient because the game will slow down. The only the only deck I can kind of see that checks Ancient Garuru is Ancient Gray. Like they're both
oh yeah,
a
because they both kind of
50-50.
counteract each other. But
Yeah.
that's how it was in the show too,
Yeah.
which I
So,
kind of found that cool because they kind of counteracted each other.
mhm. It's just now it's like the battle of who can not promote, but who can actually strategize a little bit more efficient with their agents, with the GG crossing and, putting the five and doing whatever and
Yeah,
such and
yeah,
such. So, I mean, with that hit, I think Agent Garuru will go down in price,
yeah,
honestly. Uh, the Gabubon stuff will kind of slow down. It will drop. Honestly, I feel like Ancient Greymon is going to go up because that was the runner up candidate.
yeah,
Um, I mean, you can go with any other decks with Ancient Greymon. You can hit Crimson Blaze to wipe off the little babies, little bodies,
yeah.
and then Digicross and then pop like Dex, like what is it, Dex something that came in this last set. Like
Oh
you could
yeah,
pop
the
that.
Dexter yeah, the Dex. I think it's Dexter man.
Yeah, you could do that, and I think, from my understandings, I think they get to resurrect. I mean, people can correct me if I'm wrong, but I mean, usually I don't pay attention to gimmicks and the style. I usually
Yeah.
just, if I lose the first game, I already know how to beat you the second game
Now,
or
now
the third.
speaking now
So
speaking of gimmicks, okay, I'm just gonna throw this into the stream
gimmick
now.
puppets.
Besides Crimson Blaze being a factor, where do you think Eosmon with the new stuff that came out? Where do you think the church has?
The church.
Yeah, the Church of
Now, if we were
Eosmon.
doing like tier system, like tier 0, tier 1,
Yes.
tier 1,
Yeah.
I would say if you pilot, if you're a good pilot, that deck is the deck alone is not a strong contender.
Yeah.
But it's like that deck that needs a good pilot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You need to know the ins and out of the meta and like almost have like spot on good moments where you pull the trigger to take your shot and stuff like that. So I
Absolutely.
would probably say generously probably two, because playing
Okay.
with your Eosmon, there was like so many ways I was like, oh, I could do this, or this is the MVP, this is this, and this is this, and this, knowing that me and you on like different, I think, levels when it comes
Yeah.
down to the skill base. Since I dabbed in almost every color and tried to play every color at the highest level. Um, I honestly do think Eosmon do has an opportunity. I mean, that new tamer that you got, the discard one Eosmon, then draw two.
Yep,
Like,
the one for the draw palette and the one that stops on play effects.
yeah, like that right there is a built-in what do they call it? Like floodgate, you
Yeah.
know. So there's a possibility. Ooh, I
Okay,
don't know why I
okay,
keep
okay.
yawning,
I don't
but
know. Now,
I would say two though. If it's a right pilot, possibly. If they got like a Yugi Moto type luck, maybe a 1.5.
or if you're like a certain basketball player and you don't pilot it right, it could be all downhill from here. Or
Really,
instead of downhill, go into a mountain. I didn't say names. I didn't say names.
you and the Kobe reference.
Yo, whoever gets that joke though, man, you equally fucked up like I am.
You just like secretly like you like what Eddie Griffin was saying, the secret racist. You're like a secret, like
No,
innuendo,
nah,
dark humor
nah.
person.
I'm just a dog humor. I can't be the R word because I am the B word.
Uh, uh, Never mind. We're not about to go through this.
Okay, okay, cool.
Cool, cool, cool.
But one last thing too. So
Hmm.
with the cards that are hit, like for example, this one,
Hmm.
that one,
That one hurts the deck a little bit.
yeah. So I was gonna say, do you think
I'm not gonna lie. I played Magnamon X, and let me tell you, I had that one at least
like
almost at 3. Like I was like, I want to
so
see
so
my boy on the board.
so you think with these three, you think they're still gonna be like entering in top five, top
No,
three at least?
no. I think Magnamon X will probably still be seen,
Yeah.
but I think if I could be wrong, but what I think will happen is if you go back to the card,
Which one?
the
This one?
Magnamon, yeah, that one has to be at 1, of course, right?
Yeah.
I can see that one being at 1, Fire Rocket at 2 in the deck, and then 2 Armor Purge, so you can
Okay.
just keep the aggressionness, and then either that or X anybody at 3 in the deck, because you can slide it in under Magnamon Swing and then Digivolve into Magnamon
Oh
X,
yeah,
unsuspend, and do all that shenanigans.
that's true.
So you
The
can do
one
that. So
the one thing I'm surprised about, because a lot of one of the other things people were discussing about it was the Greymon that's on the restricted list. A
oh
lot of
yeah,
people thought that one was gonna get set free.
yeah. It's because like Greymon doesn't have no synergies just yet. I mean, because
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, I have a Greymon deck. I mean, I could try at the Evo Cup this upcoming weekend, but
Oh, are you
what
doing
I
the Evo at Hammer Girl?
it looks like I will be able to,
Okay.
but I'm just kind of seeing where everything will fall because Grumpy Face will be going on vacation, so I'm gonna
Yeah.
have to drive her out to grandma's.
All right, I
Grandma,
got you.
what is it? Ganja, grandma Ganja. So,
Grandma Huda Gesundheit.
so
All right. Well. Hey, I appreciate you. Appreciate your last minute
that's
thing
it.
coming on here. I mean, was there anything else we need to talk about?
I'm like, this other stuff. This is our what is it? Our channel.
I mean, yeah.
Jeez, you just
Well, hey, hey, some podcasts are going to be short, some are going to be long. I mean,
not
right now
true.
it's 22:43 or 22:45. Um. Oh, before we go though, if you guys haven't, check us out on our. Oh, let me turn off the banner. What's our banner? Turn it off. But yeah, guys, those are social medias right there. We got YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, as well as the email.
Hmm.
Give us a follow. Cool little designs here. We look out for local artists whenever they want to go and design our characters. But yeah, guys, with
This
that out of the
trash
way,
there.
be on the lookout. Hopefully, Yang would want to do more podcasts with me. Again,
Yeah, I
they will be
mean,
longer
we can
ones.
do
They
it.
will be shorter ones.
Oh, but I did talk to John. Supposedly he's coming back to doing the podcast and stuff like
Oh
that.
yeah,
So I'll
yep,
probably
he
be
was.
on in a couple of
Yeah,
weeks.
he was telling me that too.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
Hopefully
can't
we
wait to
can
have you
do.
on there. I can't wait to have you on there because there was an episode that they had
Mhm.
just me. They gotta have an
Yeah.
episode where there's just you, and then they gotta have both of us.
Oh no, 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 no,
That's the
no,
combo right
no,
there. It's like what
no, no,
they already
no.
had one for me. They gotta have one for you, and then they gotta
Hmm.
have one with both of us.
I just hope they got some real good questions. You know what I mean? I don't like the soft questions.
Now for me,
You know,
like if
soft cone
you
McDonald's.
got Spotify, right?
Yeah, 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 yeah. I
Check
listened to a couple of them.
Yeah, did check out the one on the one they did with me.
Hmm.
And it was mostly like one of the main thing we talked about was it was mostly just cosplay, as well as we will talk about inspirations and whatnot.
Hmm.
And it's when I found out like me and John, one of the things we have in common is like when it comes to parents, like both of our mothers were the ones that were in supportive of it. It's like, oh yeah, they dress up in tights, but it's fine. It's what they love doing.
Yeah.
Um I did tell him how my dad, who Oh boy, we know how dad is.
Yeah, yeah. He's the type of the cancer culture will feed off of, and will just eat and just like,
No, mostly the part I meant the one was just like, oh make your Christ, my son's wearing tights.
oh no. Like my dad, like I would say this, like my mom, she was like, oh, that's cool. But my mom was more on how much money you gonna get for this. And it's like, well, I made it for myself. And it's just like, how are you supposed to make money? And it's like it's always money driven, you know? And then my dad would just like, you do you. I don't give a F about what you do. As
Yeah,
long as you're not in the streets selling drugs or whatever the case may be, I don't care. Leave me alone.
yeah,
Like he was very
yeah.
he
Hey, as long as you did good for yourself, and didn't do no harm. He was like, hey, it's fine.
but I did get some flack from when Kamani had put on the Spider-Man suit for the first time, and they were like, "Why is he out here in tights?" I was like, "What? That's all you care about?"
I ain't gonna lie. To this day, I still have Noah blocked for that fucking comment she made in the photo.
I
I've still
forgot what she had put
somewhere in my archives. But like
somewhere in my archives.
I saw the comment, screenshotted it, say put in my archives, and
I
just
think you
went I
sent it to
blocked.
me. I
I
think you
believe I
sent it to
did.
me. Yeah, I think you
Somewhere in the
did.
archive. Yeah. But
Nah,
I was just like, why are they making a big deal out of it? It's like he's doing him.
yeah, he's as long as he ain't hurting nobody. But like, I
Yeah.
understood in the way, but it was like, don't post it online. It's
Okay,
like, yeah,
that part I get.
I
Okay,
was
a
like,
little
yeah,
bit,
I
yeah.
get that part, but like, would you rather him be in a Spider-Man suit or butt naked on like OnlyFans or something like that?
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
the
got you.
worst thing you could possibly be having him doing right now
Yeah.
and stuff. And you know he's a geek, you know, and all turn like Kamani. I would say this: Kamani and Zion and Nora were all geeks because I was the biggest geek in the house. I was the
I
nerdiest out of everybody in my family. I was the nerdiest.
I ain't gonna lie. I'll believe you with Kamani. Somewhat believe you with Zion. Noah ain't no way. Like she was a
Nor
geek.
yeah. She like when we was in high school, like what I think it was like 10th, ninth, and 10th grade. She was right there with me at her Fisher Price table playing Yu-Gi-Oh! She would help me test
Huh.
out decks, everything. That's what I'm saying. Like they all grew up. The way they are now was not how they were when we were all kids. So you could see that one environment and the environment of the and the culture that now shifted.
Yeah.
Now it's like, nah, this ain't cool, blah blah blah, this, and that, and third. You know what I mean? So
Which is weird though, cause like I remember like in high school, you like you weren't really like with the you weren't really popular with people. If you were into the nerdy stuff, right?
yeah,
And
we got
nowadays that
clowned.
yeah, and then nowadays everyone's like, oh man, I do this, oh I love this, and I was like, what? No, you don't. It's like, where were you from day one?
No, no, no.
Wait
You
a
had the
minute.
Deadpool moment, and you like, beep. Do you think I do that?
Yeah, do you think I do that?
Right?
Like,
Like it
wait a
just
minute.
you. That's the same thing that I be having too. It's just like, oh yeah, I was always rocking with the Yu-Gi-Oh. I'll be like, yo, who's your favorite dragon? What was your favorite? Like, what was? They were like, man, the blue eyes, the red dragon, the green dragon, the black dragon. No, stop. Like, you're embarrassing yourself. You're not part of the culture. Like, stop. Get some help. Like, oh,
Get some help. You need some
remember,
Jesus.
remember when we used to get made fun of when we had cartoon characters on our book bags while we were in high school?
Somewhat, yes.
Like now you look at it nowadays, kids are wearing cartoon characters on book
Yeah.
bags. And they're like, oh, we're all welcoming and accept. Like, what the hell is going on? Now
No, wait.
everybody's a nerd. Like everybody's a nerd now. And it's like to be a nerd now is not even being a nerd. Like you can't be a nerd nowadays because
Yeah.
everybody's a nerd now. Everybody's been there since day one. Everybody doing this, and it's like it's either that everybody was there since day one, but they weren't brave enough to come out the closet, like almost come out the
Well,
closet with
because
it.
like you can always tell like who's been there for the longest and who just got in. Which I should state as a disclaimer, if if you want to hop in because you heard about it and now you want to enjoy it, that's fine. But like
Oh yeah,
if
pay
they go
respects. Yeah,
yeah, but like if you go preaching like you're from day one and you want a day one nerd, like come on now.
that's why. That's why.
Oh,
Like
hold on,
me and
hold on.
you.
So, Alan brought up a good point here. Being a nerd nowadays is different than being a nerd back then. And yeah, absolutely
Yeah,
right, Alan.
yeah, for
Absolutely.
sure, for sure. Because like if you even look at the nerds nowadays, they don't even have respect. You get what I'm saying? Like they don't
Yeah,
respect. It's always like how you tell me about what's on TikTok, like Batman stands and all. Like you get the toxic fan base where, don't get me wrong. Now when me and you have these discussions about like Batman, who can be
yeah,
like if Batman can win this and whatever, I will sit here and tell you cold heartedly the truth if Batman will really win or not. Now,
yeah. Well, because it's also you always be like, well, what form is it in Batman? Or
yeah,
it's always like, what version of
which
Batman? What
era?
version of Spider Man? What era? It's like, okay, it's this one versus this one. Okay, well, this one would win. Okay, Batman would lose if it's this era, but he would win if it's this era.
Mm-hmm.
I know what you mean.
Because like I logically would like think like that, and now a lot of people would like. I think you mentioned like King Lion will go through
Yeah.
certain.
Also, surprise visitor moment. Afro, this is the Yin from the other half of the Yin Yang show.
Yin
What's
Yang.
Yang,
up?
this is
What's up?
Afro. This is the one I do. I joined his podcast.
Oh, okay. What's
Yeah.
up? What's up?
Okay, how's it going, my dude?
Ooh, is that Ratchet and Clank? Ratchet in there?
Ratchet and what?
Yeah,
Ratchet and
okay.
Clank.
Yeah, I'm a huge Ratchet and Clank fan. So
Ooh, OG. You the OG from the P2?
yeah. No,
Ooh, my
that's the
man.
one. See, that's the one you gotta. Okay, boy. Let me tell you something.
I
That's
was
the
about to say,
one.
you gotta throw that out there because people will be like, yeah, from like PlayStation
No, if
4,
I
I
hear
play. You be
someone
like,
go
nah,
up
nah,
and
nah,
say
nah,
like
nah.
it's gonna be from the movie, they'll be like, "Oh, bro, like from the movie." I'm like, first of all, you shut up, okay? You shut your mouth right
No,
now
some
because we
games
don't.
don't need to be a movie.
No, I went to the movie theater. Sorry, way of the lock. I feel so bad for kind of taking
Hey,
the
you're fine. It's all
up in
fine.
this a bit, but I'm not gonna lie. I was like, I went to the movie. I was the only one in the movie theater. They looked at me weird because they were like, "Oh, are you fans of this year?" Yeah, I am. Because let's be honest, if I wasn't a fan of this show, I'd look really weird just being a grown ass adult walking into a kids movie. But I'm like, no, I'm a fan of this. I'm a fan of these
Yeah,
games. I've been fan of these games forever. I walked into that movie. I finished the movie, and I was like, this is arguably one of the biggest pieces of shit I've ever seen.
right. That's how
Damn.
I felt like when I took my little brother to see Sonic, the first Sonic, and then the second. I was like, I don't know about this because this is like you're talking to like me being almost 30, and then my little brother who is like half my age. So you got two different generations,
What you doing here,
but
man? Like,
bond over Sonic the Hedgehog.
and I
And
thought both those movies are actually pretty good.
oh yeah, no doubt. I like the Knuckles series off the Paramount. Not the
I've, I've
best,
I
Was it
haven't watched
Knuckle
the
but
Knuckle
series?
series. I haven't
yeah,
watched
there's
the
a
Knuckle
Knuckles.
series.
Huh.
Yeah, I would say if you're a fan of it, you will watch when you watch it, you could be like, okay, I'm content with this. You know what I mean? Like,
I heard there wasn't enough Knuckles though. That's the thing. But I think,
let me guess, Shadow,
huh?
Shadow.
Nah, I'm excited for Shadow.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Don't
yeah,
get me wrong. Keanu Reeves playing Shadow is dope.
yeah,
Wait, what?
Yeah, Keanu
yeah,
Reeves, bro,
bro.
you
You
gotta
got
catch
to
up, my
get
boy.
Oh,
Like
I
right.
didn't hear
Keanu
about
Reeves is
that.
playing Shadow the
Damn.
Hedgehog. They thought the trailer was gonna come out at GamesCon,
And
but
Ryan Reynolds is gonna do Silver.
oh, Silver is coming too. Then that mean more than likely that means that Metal Sonic is gonna be the main antagonist. Which I'm not gonna lie to y'all,
It's gonna be
it,
fire.
it's about time.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if they're just gonna go Sonic Heroes route?
Yeah,
And just goes because I mean they already kind of did a little bit, but if they go
they
straight
already
Sonic
did a
Heroes,
Mario. Can you imagine both of them doing a crossover,
I don't. I'm not
Oh
bro?
gonna lie to you,
man.
man. I don't want to see a crossover between them.
Bro,
They need to keep their own separate universe because I'm not gonna lie. First of all, this might be controversial. I'm so sick of multiverse stuff, like multiverse
yeah,
crossover. Like
yeah.
I'm so tired of it. Like it's fine to just make. Let's say you make like 3 movies, right, with Sonic. Okay, you get 3 movies, and then maybe like a spin-off show for like let's say Amy and Tails and stuff like that, and
Hmm.
then just call it good. Then move on to something else.
I just hope that when they do like Amy and Sonic, they don't make it too toxic.
Well, no, I think
You
okay.
know what
So
I mean?
honestly, I don't mind the fact that Amy likes Sonic. I actually really like that. I think
Right.
it's kind of also kind of gives Sonic because Sonic is this dude that is kind of that always been that smooth talking. I mean, this
Yeah,
new
he got that
movie Sonic
swag.
is not game Sonic. I'm not gonna lie. Like, let's be honest, movie Sonic's not game Sonic.
Yeah, he got that Riz.
Oh, he does, but that's the one thing that I also love
Saw how
too.
he
Is no
almost
matter
bagged. You saw
no,
how he almost bagged homeboy wife.
but
Yeah,
that's the thing. Like that's the thing though is like you see how Sonic is, and as much as like with Amy, you can make her own character and still
Yep.
enjoy like having Sonic. You know what I mean? Like
What was that? What was the girl with the bat wings?
Rouge,
oh,
Yeah.
Rouge.
I just
Rouge.
hope they don't do no Dami Mommy thing with her. Like, you know what I mean? Like, really make her like,
I mean, I don't think they will.
uh,
There is an outfit that she has. I believe it's in Sonic Heroes that they kind of changed her outfit a bit. But I actually don't. Game Sonic and Movie Sonic can't swim. Oh, that's right. No, they can't. That was actually really really smart. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually do love the fact that like with Rouge, you can make Rouge just make Rouge different from Amy. You know what I mean? Make her a
right.
little more. She's always been to me like the one thing I love is that these two are not nearly with the same.
Yeah.
Rouge seems to
Like,
have much more friend. Like I love the friend relationship she has with Shadow, and the relationship she had with like
I like the
Mm.
dynamic of the with Sonic X. I don't know if y'all remember that. Remember off
oh
of
dude yeah
Fox Kids and stuff or
yeah
Yes,
Jet
yes,
X.
yeah,
don't
Yeah,
get
Gen
me.
like
X
I
I
and
mean,
love
yeah.
that. I love
I'm
that
not gonna go
chemistry.
in.
I ain't
I
gonna.
love that
I'm
chemistry.
not gonna lie. A lot of people, whenever I brought up JetX, they looked at me weird. Like they never knew what JetX was, or they never knew what
See,
or what's another show?
because
That's
see,
because
you
a
got
lot of the thing about we have okay so and I did a I think I did a podcast on this. You gotta think though 2007 was when it stopped, right?
yeah.
They
Yeah.
all that shit just stopped. Excuse me, my language. But I
Wait,
don't know if
this
I
on
can.
YouTube, right?
Yes.
Oh, all right. Well, this is our like,
Yeah,
yeah.
you're
I
fine.
mean,
You're
Yeah.
not
I
getting
Don't
was
worry.
about to
Yeah.
monetized
say
for
we
Yeah.
this.
cool,
Yeah.
we cool with it. Like we day
Yeah.
Okay.
oneers.
Yeah. If you gotta swear, you can swear.
Yeah,
We. I was
you're
about.
not getting monetized or nothing. But
I was about to say we the best generation. Like we're the generation that Gen Z and Alpha whatever is trying to mimic. Like
well,
they trying to be
the
like
thing is that we
us.
the experimental generation, like all the
Yeah.
stuff that happened, like and I look especially through like technology, right?
Oh,
Look at technology when it started back in like a Game Boy, but then look at now. Our phones are basically the same as like an Xbox One or an Xbox Series S, depending on
Yeah.
the building that you get. That's
mm-hmm.
crazy. You can fit all that in the palm of your hand. Man, when I was a kid, I was excited when I got my first iPod, and I was like, I can see the thongs. Like that was
He said
literally
I can see the fonts.
Oh my god.
I
like,
remember getting my first PlayStation 2 for Christmas. The like the actual year. My grandma went out her way and like took some of her money that she had like in retirement because she used to work at Kodak. That's up here. And man, when I got that PlayStation 2, I just literally took the PlayStation 1 right out of the TV thing and just gave it to my dad. Mind you, I did get a butt whooping because my dad was like, "You don't touch the console," and I touched the console. You know what I mean? Living in a black household, when dad said don't touch nothing, you don't touch it. You
Yeah.
know what
right?
I mean?
No,
But I
exactly.
took that thing out. I'm like, we putting this in. It was worth. And I remember my first two games. I think was one of them was Jack and Dexter,
Ah, yeah.
and then I can't remember. I don't. I wanted. I know for sure. I think it was Tekken. I have a
Okay.
feeling it was probably Tekken. It's either Tekken, but I know for sure. That's why I was like, "Is that Ratchet and Clank?" Because I remember me and my dad used to play the original one on the PlayStation 2, and he used to get mad at the muscle guy because, like, you know how you had the game, and then you had like a little side missions here and there throughout the whole story mode. So like he would try to do like this muscle guy that was on the platform or whatever, and he had to run around and get the little nuts and whatever and stuff like that. And he used to get really, really mad when homeboy used to sucker punch him or whatever the
So
case may be.
very interesting comment here. Um, makes. So we all know how in society nowadays, things out there are getting fucked up, right? Alan brought up a good point with this comment.
This
I
is
don't
going
know
to
if it's
be
gonna
off
get caught up.
topic, but since we being introduced to anchor beings in the multiverse, has anyone noticed the reason our world has changed so
You about to
much?
say
Because
Harambe? I know. I
yes,
saw that
Well,
oh
Harambe
no,
was
my
our
not
anchor
god,
being.
Harambe. For him,
Harambe was our
it
anchor
was
being. Oh, Stanley. Stanley was never
yeah.
the anchor being, my dude.
yeah,
It never
no,
was. He never was the anchor being.
it was Kevin Conway.
It was who the fuck is Kevin Conway?
No,
Batman?
Kevin Conroy.
Kevin
Oh,
Conroy.
Conroy. Okay, I always get
Conroy,
I'm
his
yeah.
last
sorry
name
for
messed up.
if Kevin Conway is listening to this. he's just sitting back like, yo, bro, what the fuck did I do? Like, but
We know
no,
what you
like,
did.
dude, Harambe was our fucking anchor
Nah,
being. Now that
for
he's
me,
gone,
I think another anchor being it could have been is Robin Williams.
yeah,
Uh,
Robin Williams. But the thing is, like,
nah,
Robin
nah,
Williams
it was
passing.
Toriyama. It was the guy that did Dragon Ball.
What?
Oh, Akira
Spoiler
Toriyama.
alert! That
Yeah.
was
No, I
all of
couldn't.
them.
Okay, he's every generation got that anchor being, I guess. But like, it's like every generation got their Michael Jordan. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They got
Unless it was Kobe.
Kobe was never the GOAT though.
yeah. He could.
Kobe was never the GOAT. Like I love Kobe
Then it was
Bryant. I think
MJ.
Kobe
Then it
Bryant
was
is great.
MJ.
He couldn't even pass that mountain.
Yo, you went to
I'm
Bro,
horrible.
there's only
Yeah.
two. Okay, the only two that are on that mountain, right,
Yes.
are Michael Jordan and LeBron James. The
I
only
think LeBron James is good, but I think with the standards of like how every other player plays
What about
and
if you
stuff.
put
LeBron
LeBron James,
James?
the thing is LeBron James had that physicality, like not the physical, his physical skill set, like his physical size. If you would have brought him back, I think he'd be just fine.
What about the giant Shaq?
Shaq couldn't play in this league.
He's a
I'm
big
sticking
guy,
to that.
though.
I'm sticking to that. Shaq could not play in the league. I'm not saying that Shaq's bad. I mean, look at some of the bigs right now, like Jokic, right? Like Giannis, you got to be able to shoot from anywhere.
Yeah.
You know, back in when
Yeah, I do
Shaq could
agree.
just
Like the
bully down
standards
low.
had to been the standards nowadays is a little bit now you got to be universal. Almost
Yeah.
everything instead of back then, they were more like if you was a point shooter, then you were a point shooter. If you was good on D, then you was good on this, and everybody had their roles.
Now you
Stuff
have
like
to be
that.
everything. Like if you want to be, a big guy down low, you have to be able to be down low. You have to be able to pull a three from back. And we knew that Shaq. I mean, you could just pull up stats. I'm not going to do that at the moment, but like you could pull up stats. I'm not even that big of a basketball person, but I'm like,
Me either.
But like,
I just know Shaq just missed almost every even when he was at a 2-pointer, they made jokes in the Scary Movie about it.
well, and
How
that's the
Shaq
thing. Like,
just
okay,
cannot
I'm
make a
not huge
bucket.
with basketball, but I do know there's actually quite a. Now that I start thinking about it, like I don't even think about this because like you're like, oh, this guy's cool, subscribe. But like, there's quite a few people that I follow for basketball. But yeah, if I put that Shaq, I think Shaq is an amazing player. I think Shaq is obviously a great for a reason. I just don't know if he'd be able to play in a league like this right now. I mean, I think in some parts, yes, because he's built different. You know what I mean? He was just huge. But the way that teams need to be more athletic now.
Yeah.
Could he still be able to keep up with people like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's kind of like with the same thing with like what was it?
I
it
think
was
this might help.
Rocky.
These are the stats you were talking about.
What was it? Rocky 5? I think it was like Rocky 5 when Rocky just was like trying to get back into boxing one last time. And they were doing like if you look at the eras that they both were fighting in and they were comparing the stats and stuff like that.
I don't you'd have to pull up because I don't know. Okay, these stats home, these like 20. Yeah, I don't know what the numbers represent.
All I know is top of the list. They got LeBron James, Michael Jordan.
No, that's fine. That's fine. But like but look at the numbers next to it. I'm trying to wonder what those numbers mean. You know what I mean?
Oh, no idea. In order from left to right, it goes GP, MIN, PTS, FG, FGA.
Okay, yeah. Can you pull that part up?
Yeah, I got you.
So I can see it because I know what some of those mean. I just not all of them, but I know what some of those mean. But I just
let me screenshot that. Let me get a better screenshot. My bad.
No, you're good. But going back to it because I think we're getting way off.
Yeah.
But like we talking about, I don't want to say
I think it was Michael, honestly.
Yeah, but like I
He
feel like,
was
but I'm bringing it back around a little bit because I also want to talk about the thing about Sonic, right?
yeah
And
Yeah.
how like a Sonic, I think a Sonic one could be good. I think it would be good for one to have, you know, what's the name? Like I think Amy would be cool. Rouge would be cool. I think if Robotnik is coming back, which I think he confirmed to come back, and Jim Carrey, I want him to bring in Omega.
yeah
Because
Omega?
then we bring in Team Dark.
yeah
You know what I mean? I love Team Dark, so that's why I'm like, bring in those guys. You could do Sonic has a big enough lore and stuff with a pretty decent cast of characters that you should be able to do all right. When um, I'm not gonna lie. Also, so going back to a second here because he mentioned the anchor beans. That anchor bean, at least to me, kind of doesn't make any sense because there's
how you value someone, that
well, and
one
they're like, oh,
particular
they're the
person.
anchor being of the universe, but like, haven't we seen other characters getting like taken out? Like,
Yeah, because like what was it, thinking Wolverine and Deadpool, they even specified that they're different. Not all universes have, like, because they were saying that Deadpool's universe was his anchor beam was Wolverine, but it
Yeah.
differentiates in every other universe.
but that, and
And
that, but
So
that's the thing is like, if they say that some of them don't have anchor beings, and that doesn't make any sense. So that like, you know what I
right,
mean? Like,
yeah,
I
it
don't know. I
contradicts
think the anchor
itself.
being thing is kind of. I don't like it. I'm not gonna
Lazy
lie. I
writing.
don't like it. Like I'm also not in the best mind frame to be talking about this. But like, I'm just, I'm just I'm just not a huge fan of like, we
The
try to introduce
multiverse
I
bullshit.
hate multiverse. I'm not gonna lie. I hate multiverse. Like multiverses are cool when it comes to like certain video game, but not everything is doing a multiverse.
Right. Okay, so
Every
here's my question, right?
okay.
And I was asked this yesterday. I had attended to a Bible study thing, and after the Bible study, everybody was talking about Marvel, and one of the guys made fun of the, like, he was like, "Oh, I went to Gen Con," and he was like, "Yeah, a lot of people dress up, but they a little bit weird or whatever." And I'm like, "Hey, not all of us that dress up at these conventions are weird." He was like, "Oh no, that's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is," I'm like, "No, no, 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 no. You can't just like divide the group or whatever. Like,
Well, what was he trying to say?
so
Like, what was his
so
point?
so overall, right? He was like, well, after Spider-Man No Way Home, everything else after that was trash. He was like, No Way Home saved the Marvel universe. And I was like, I can rebuttal that and say no. It was literally Deadpool and Wolverine. He was like, why? Why? I was like,
No.
one,
Uh,
Spider-Man is a little bit overrated. Two, they literally had to nostalgia bait everybody to go see that fucking movie.
yeah. Because
People
when
from top Toby to Andrew love, like, their fan base are so, they're so loved by their fan base. Like, you got Tom Holland who has the little teeny boppers. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, yeah, he's cool. Don't get me wrong, not knocking Tom Holland as Spider-Man. Did a good job being Peter Parker and a little bit of Spider-Man, but I felt like that wasn't really what really saved Marvel from doing whatever. You know what I mean? I just felt like Ryan Reynolds, when Disney gave Ryan Reynolds the ability to do his thing, even though there were a couple of actresses that were mad because they got cut out of it,
oh yeah, because I remember there was something about Brie
Brie
Larson.
Larson and
the
What was the
She-Hulk
other one?
girl.
Oh
yeah,
yeah, She-Hulk and Brie Larson.
they were
Yeah.
supposed
Yeah,
to have
like,
cameos and
yeah,
they
but it
they were
just didn't
supposed
make
to do.
sense. It wouldn't make sense. You
Yeah.
know
Well,
what I
okay,
mean?
so
So
my
like
thing,
they paid good homage to the Fox Studios and stuff. This is what I was explaining to him. Like they did a good homage, good send off to Fox Studios as they're transitioning going into Marvel and stuff. They, like, and I told him, I was like, they made more money than Spider-Man did, and whatever the case may be. He was like, well, I'm just talking about cultural impact. I'm like, bro, my friend dressed up like Deadpool. He cannot walk in the public without being stopped everywhere.
oh yeah, well, okay, so the one thing that
Like,
you said that's really interesting that you mentioned, and it doesn't come with the anchor beans or nothing, but
mm,
it's about what you said about the money. So I always I tell people, I'm like, you guys realize that Spider-Man 3, right, at one point was the highest grossing movie of all time, and that movie sucks.
Yeah.
So like just because something makes a buttload of movie, like a bunch of the money, which is really funny that people still bring up that argument, considering that people been like shitting on Madden games, and Madden makes a fuck ton of money, and they're still.
Hmm.
So why do we
And it's
still use
still
money as the reason
Yeah.
why it makes so much?
right.
Because you can
Well, like when I
Marvel
do it,
can literally have a short
it's
film of a
just
guy taking a shit, and it
yeah,
would still make $1 million at
right,
least. It also cost them like $5 million to make it, but
right.
like,
I think it's also too the perspective. You know what I'm
like
saying? Like if you
the
say it because of money and just slowly just because of the money, then that's like not identifying. Like if a person were to walk in this room or walk into a convention, and me and Yen go to a lot of conventions and stuff and dress up as certain characters. So we kind of like from our cultural environment, what we know which character gives a bigger reaction out of the
Yeah.
people in the public. So you know what I mean? So we kind of like not in the trenches, but we kind of know a general concept of what how people feel about certain characters.
I will
You know
say
what I'm saying?
one thing people can bring up with one thing people can do with the money argument is they can be like if a show if they say a show sucks, they'd be like, man, how can it be so bad? They spent this much money on it. Then they went, where did that money go?
Yeah. Like I don't like the Acolyte,
Yeah.
but Yen loves like I wouldn't say love it, but he
I
likes
don't
the
love it.
Acolyte.
I did
I
have
don't,
my,
I
my
don't,
And
I
bad
don't
things
like
about
the
it.
Acolyte
I was gonna
either.
say
but you know what I mean?
Afro
So
knows my takes on it because we talked about
Yeah,
it on his
well, yeah, no,
podcast.
and I could, and I could sit there and I'm gonna tell you that they're all wrong. No, I'm just kidding. But like,
Get out of here again. You're wrong.
I would have been like, hey, do you? Do you boo boo?
no, but but no, like the thing is, yeah, it's just talking about actually. Now that we're on the topic of the Acolyte, um,
Oh Lord.
so yeah, I'm not gonna lie, like and it's not as much of the show because I think like you've seen some of my takes on that lock
Yeah,
of
I
uh
have. Yang hasn't.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So long story short, I don't like it.
Same.
Um,
Same.
I didn't find it very like I go based off of how I feel. You know what I mean?
Oh
Like
my God.
I'm not an expert writer, so I'm not gonna lie. There's some parts where if I know it's very abrasive, like the power of one kind of thing. But
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
That's what I didn't like.
I'm
I
not
hated
great
that.
with knowing what expert writing is or where the certain dialogue and all that other kind of stuff. Even though like I'm trying to become a screenwriter, so I will be able to recognize that. I just
Hmm.
don't know that right now.
Right.
Yeah, Acolyte will not have a season two.
No.
I think that's already kind of
I think yeah,
yeah, we
they
already knew that.
already confirmed
But
that
like
they got
Wait,
the
did
thing with the
Lucasfilm
Acolyte
confirm
is
it?
that
yeah,
I didn't
Oh,
feel anything from the Acolyte. It
yeah.
felt very hollow. And like I think also it comes down to some of the like I've said before, my favorite character there is Soul. I think the actor whose name I can't think off the top of my head right now is
the Squid Game actor.
yeah, the Squid Game actor.
That's how I know him.
He did a fantastic job as Soul. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that show gets hard carried by its lead, which is the lady who played Osha. I don't think she did a good job. She
I
should have
think
stuck to just one character.
I think not discrediting her acting ability because you know how like there's some shows and movies where they really be getting really good talented actors and actresses but shitty fucking material.
Bro,
So
you had
then
Carrie Ann Moss in there, and then you offed her in like the first 10 minutes. You couldn't beat it. She helped take down
I
fucking.
said to her, I was like, how did she beat the girl who trained with Neo?
Oh yeah, I was
How?
like the fact that she's a master, and then like they were like, oh well, she
She's more
she
in
was
tune with
caught
the
in an
force.
unstoppable position, and I was like, you telling me that this lady couldn't just literally force push this girl, be like, yeet, right
Yeah.
out of this building?
Yeah, me and Yen was having that discussion, and I think he put his opinion about one of the thingies, and I was like, "Did you don't see the innuendo of like someone who is like sad to say woke will take this and run with it?" And I
Oh
was
yeah,
like,
okay. So
the race theory
yeah,
that I gave him.
the thing it is because I have a few I have videos where I explained the whole I broke down people's things about, oh, this ruins Anakin's legacy. And I explained it in, I think it was 2 or 3 videos I made, and I was like, and I even pulled out a whiteboard, and I think it was my sketchbook in one of them, and I was like, see, and I explained it where it was 2 witches manipulated the force to make a child, a failed child because it split in 2, and the force retaliated and made Anakin, a few years down the line. And Yang kind of pointed out where he was like, you can see where people in your comments are gonna twist your words against you and make it into a race thing. And I was like, what you mean by that? So he was like, care to explain, Yang? Go ahead.
I was like, so you have 2 witches who are, and like a lot of people could say on social media, lesbians in space, who twisted and did whatever they did to create 2 black children, or 2 black children. The way the Force rebuttal or like to fight back is that they made a white savior.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you. That is such a fucking straw man bullshit. Like I'm
like I could just,
but I feel
but
like
like
someone in the comments would do that though.
yeah, somebody
I'm not
will
gonna
do
lie to
that,
you.
and I'm like sitting there thinking, I'm like, oh no, I know him personally, and I know that's not what he intend. But people who don't know him will
but
take it that far.
Let me clarify that and why I think, because I actually, in a way, I do think
like
that
that
it kind
idea.
of does tarnish the legacy a little bit, and it's because it's not directly trying to, but it kind of indirectly did, because it just did it in a way that was not one. I don't think it was very well done.
Yeah.
I like the whole like, oh well, we just, our force is just different, right? We just
Yeah.
our forces we just used a different way. We use this thread version, and then we use it to create all powerful being. Like, I'm not gonna lie, even they brought up the Night Sisters. Like, oh, the Night Sisters. This sounds like something the Night Sisters would do. I don't want to get too much into Acolyte, but man, but like when I go off of, because I'll just gotta keep my shit brief, okay? But when I go off of like how that show made me feel just overall, I'm not gonna lie, like I don't feel anything from the show.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything. Like I
I
kind of
felt bad when X-23 died though. I was like, no, not X-23.
Oh yeah, that one caught me.
Honestly, I didn't really even care too much. Like, because I'm about to make a name for myself, yeah.
Oh, he shot out his daddy dick ready.
Oh, dude, that was so fucking hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, like he was great, but also like I was like, I'm not gonna lie, when they showed all of them, like Jennifer Gardner still looked good.
Hell yeah.
I was like, oh hell yeah. And then I saw Wesley Snipes. I was like, oh shit.
God.
Bro, I punched Yin in the
arm
hard.
He punched my arm. I was like, what the fuck?
Soon as he did that walk, I was like, oh boom.
And I'm glad he did it like right after her too. And like the floating card thing, I was like, okay, this is great. But I have to admit though, like even when X-23 came, right?
Bro,
like,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. X-23 out of the suit, and I ain't gonna lie. I'm doing the Yin thing. She hot, legal, and single. She's legal.
I'm not saying nothing. Dude, that girl's like 19, man. Like,
bro, she beautiful for
she's a very beautiful. She's a very beautiful lady. I'm not gonna lie.
But like, type of, if that was your daughter, you need a shotgun.
Like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Seeing her in there as X-23 again also made me realize how old I am, because I was like, man, I've been watching this. When I watched Logan.
Oh
man, this little girl in Logan.
Oh yes, I thought the same way.
But you're making me feel weird.
But she's also congrats.
Do it.
But look at
payback.
How would you just have a seat right on that chair over there, boy? But like, you're just doing.
I'm like Brandon. I'm like, yeah, I'm in denial. Shh.
You better start talking there, EDP. But like, but no, like, I think the big thing really to me, what really surprised me was the fact of like her coming back. I was excited for, because I wanted to see that connect, because they seem that they like are really close, her and Hugh Jackman.
Yeah.
They seem to just generally are really close. And I mean, when you have a child actor like that, and she did a really good job in Logan.
Mm-hmm.
even though she didn't have a whole lot of lines, but she did a really good job at Logan. And seeing her, yeah, it just made me feel one super old, and also made me realize I'm like, how long was Logan ago? Because I could still cry at that movie.
Oh yeah, because like, hold on. So after Deadpool and Wolverine, I was seeing a post about Hugh Jackman and X-23, and I'm just like, man, that's so sweet. It's like they've been together since Logan to now, and Acolyte, and seeing them grown up, and I'm like, wait a minute. And I was doing some research, and I looked at the numbers, and I went, yo, why my knees be hurting? Yo, why my back hurting?
No, I ain't gonna lie though.
Bro, you ain't even that old, Lock. So don't even.
What you?
Okay?
Well, how old do you think I am?
How old are you?
30.
You 30? Okay.
I was
Shit, you 30?
I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Everyone always
I'm
thinks
30. I'm
younger
gonna be
because of my
33
voice.
next month in like
Like
2-3 weeks.
Once you
Can
see
you imagine
me,
if
you'll
you would have
see
saw how I look? Woo.
Yeah.
Wow, you look like you in your 40s or what?
Nah, I
he
look like
looks
I'm in my
younger.
teens.
Basically, when
forever carded.
Because like when
my
we're
man,
both,
my man be like, "Woo, he about to make a name on himself."
like, listen, Afro, when we're both in a restaurant and it happened 2 or 3 times,
Yeah.
they'll get Yang's order and there'll be an alcoholic beverage. They'll be like, "All right, can I see your ID?" They'll look at it, look at him, look at the ID. All of a sudden they'll get to me. What do you want? I'm like, oh yeah, I'll have insert alcoholic beverage. And I'm like, all right, and then just walk away. And I'm like, I'm not that old.
That would just make me feel bad.
I'm
not gonna lie to you. Like you just made me like.
I'll be quick to say the N word very quick. Like what?
Okay, you want to hear something funny?
Yeah.
So okay, I know, Locke, you follow you know Naruto. We talked Naruto before, right?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure we have.
I don't know if Yang has or not.
No, I did until Itachi died.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. So, oh god, you one of those fucking. I'm just kidding.
Nah,
I'm just kidding.
I was about to say.
No, don't worry. He's not an Itachi stand. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He's not.
I resonated with his the love that he had for his little brother, because that's how me and my little brothers were.
Oh, he loved him so much he decided to not tell him anything, torture him for multiple years, and then was like, "Hey, yeah, boy,
that sounds like me. I used to beat him up and don't even tell him why, just
like
beat them around. And now when we spar, go against each other and stuff, they hold their own. I'm like, oh well, see,
I made
into victory.
I made you strong.
Yep.
I made you strong.
If you die, you die.
That's
it.
Damn.
Yeah, if you die, it's a skill issue, my dude. But like,
you should have rolled a nat 20.
I was saying, okay, so I saw something really, I don't know. I thought about this and I was like, man, Sasuke goes through certain phases, right? When he's a kid, he says the N-word out of anger. Okay, he looks like that's what he looks like. He looks like the kid who says the N-word out of anger.
Like, and it's not because I know a couple of people like that.
When he's in his like Shippuden era, he says the N-word literally because he know you can't fight back.
That's me.
he's carrying, but at the same time he's saying it on purpose to get a reaction out of you. Okay, but when he becomes adult, he don't say it no more because he realizes it's a problem. Yeah. Also, the realization that he's kind of not in his prime anymore, and he just got bodied. But like,
yeah,
I was like, Boruto Sasuke gets bodied every time.
Don't he only have like one arm?
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason for that though. There's a reason
because they collided. They did like the.
No. He could have got an arm back. He chose not to.
See, that's some real G shit right there.
Okay, and the reason why is because they had enough to make like those Hashirama cells, which I like to just call as bullshit plot points. But like they had enough cells to recreate one of the arms, and that's why Naruto's arm is bandaged. Because that is a replica arm from Hashirama cells. Sasuke said he didn't get it because the last thing he wanted was this motherfucker didn't even trust himself enough to be like, yeah, no, if I got 2 arms and plus Hashirama cells, like that, you ain't stopping me. You couldn't stop me last time.
Yeah, you Hokage? Nah, you know Kage.
Yeah. But on top of that too, Sasuke's like, I don't need it. You know what I mean?
I was about to say, he learned from Anakin. He was just like, about it.
He was like, I don't need to go burn in the fire.
Nah, he was like, if I'm gonna whoop your ass, I'm gonna whoop your ass with one hand.
I mean, on top of that, he got the Susanoo that he uses kind of like another arm and all that stuff though too. I just expect that dude to just be doing like one arm push-ups all the time. You know what I mean?
I ain't gonna lie though, like just like seeing a little bit of and like like on YouTube when they show like little snippets of like progression of certain characters from Naruto and stuff. I ain't gonna lie. I bet you Itachi is probably proud that his little brother became that guy.
Uh,
Now, do I think if Itachi was still alive, would he became that guy? I
Yeah.
don't think Sasuke would have became that guy. I
Oh no,
think both of
I
them.
think he would. I think
I
if
think they
okay, I
both would
think
have.
there's so
Honestly,
much, when you rewatch Naruto and you realize there's like so much that just like little things here and there could have saved their entire village.
yeah,
Just like in our world, little things here and there could literally benefit society. And just like in Naruto, we don't do anything about it. So like like um but the one thing that always I thought was always interesting to me is the fact that how Itachi was like, I mean, I love Itachi, don't get me wrong. I love Itachi. I just don't like Itachi stands. If that makes sense.
yes.
Like the Itachi, the guys who are like, oh my god, Itachi beats everyone. No, we
no,
don't. No, dude's like fifth on the list of the strongest. I'm sorry. Or the strongest Uchihas, I should say.
yeah,
But the one thing I will always say that I always did appreciate about Naruto was like Naruto always going through stuff. Sasuke's always going through stuff. They're dealing with it in different ways. I think people just hate Sasuke because they see like an edgy kid without really learning any of his actual backstory and like, or even trying to understand why he's taken the routes he is.
right.
Yeah.
Like, and on top of that, I'm also going to say something really controversial. Sakura is not useless. She's an annoying character, but she's not useless.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was about to
She's
say
not.
she's like Lifeline off of Apex. Everybody need a medic. Like the
Yeah,
team
I
wasn't as
mean,
Now,
strong.
what about the younger Sakura?
okay, so but you can't. Okay, so here's my thing. This is after maturing is realizing you need younger Sakura in order to have older Sakura.
Yeah.
I
That is
can't
true.
one
Okay,
without
that
the
is
other.
true. That
Yes,
is
Remember,
a good point.
yeah,
even in Deadpool and Wolverine, they said that the stuff that Wolverine went through made him the
yeah.
hero that he
Yeah,
is
that
today.
that's true. That's
My
true.
thing is like my only real issue is that they had nothing for Sakura. I'm not saying she needs to be some like goddess priestess thing, whatever. She don't need that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
But like she should
give
have
him
had
respect.
some sort of ability. You know what I mean? There's certain characters I've noticed that just get flack. Oda Hime is another character too that gets so much crap and she gets so much talked about for no reason. And like, but just like Sakura, they're both very powerful.
I think it's just because like Sakura kind of like embodies like that traditional woman where she can hold her own, but she's more of like she knows her place, I guess, in like the power
I
scale.
mean,
You know what I
you
mean?
teammates are literal in like reincarnations of gods. Like the fuck you gonna do?
Yeah,
You know what I
but
mean?
you get what I'm saying though. Like she could probably found like
I think, yeah, I
it's
think
like my
well,
my opinion with Gohan. Like when they gave him beast mode, and I was like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool. They was like, oh, we just wanted him to have something different than from Vegeta and Goku, and I'm
but
like, but didn't we? It just went back and was like, yo, Gohan was the only guy to beat Cell because he was way stronger than both Goku and Vegeta. Like, why wouldn't like it's just I don't know. I just feel like there's roles that they want their certain characters to have, but for her, I didn't really not like her. I was just like, okay, she kind of gave me like a groupie vibe, but then once I really sat down and saw that Naruto liked her, but she liked the Sasuke, and Sasuke was like, the hell with you. It was just like, okay, now I understand why. But then she was more like, if my man don't want me to be powerful than him, then I ain't about to do that.
for who? For Sakura?
Yeah,
Well, I mean,
with
but you gotta
Sasuke.
remember too, like, okay, you have Naruto, and for a long time, I think with Sakura, I don't know if because to me, Sakura honestly is not a real like, I wouldn't say a traditional kind of lady. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Because I mean, she one is incredibly powerful. She just represents a strong woman that went through. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, she was annoying as fuck for the longest time, and the part of the reason is because Kishimoto just couldn't fucking write her the right way. If they would have wrote her in a way of her kind of realizing more of a brother sister relationship, that I
yeah.
always felt like with Naruto that they would just always were kind of cool like that. You know what I mean?
There's a
yeah.
lot of characters that they
Like,
should have wrote better. Like I found out, I don't know how true it is, but through different sources, Neji and Rock Lee was supposed to die earlier because how do you say the creator's name? I know you said it. It skipped my
Kishimoto.
head.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he originally wanted them to die earlier because he
Mhm.
had nothing planned for them, and I was like, damn.
No, because they don't.
Bro.
I'm not gonna lie. After Rock Lee's fight, there literally is nothing. Like he doesn't do, and I mean, he has. I shouldn't say he has his one fight against Kimimaru, and then he doesn't do anything.
Because
Like he
I
gets
would love to see like the whole squad of Genin like have the moment to shine. Like especially
Yeah.
like
I
1010,
would have
Rock
loved to have
Lee,
seen
and
his
Neji.
squad get wiped out.
Wait, who squad?
Team 10 or what's it?
God,
Okay, so
the
not one because you could have really used them, and I don't want to see them die because I like them as characters, but at
yeah
a certain point they just don't really do much else, and so like I wouldn't have mind seeing a squad get wiped out to make room to show how powerful these guys are.
Yeah.
I don't like the whole like, oh, they're extremely powerful, but like, instead of like, they just get outed, they two tap them and then they just pass out.
yeah
Like, come on. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's not a villain thing to me. Like, you
He
know what I
he's
mean?
he's basically saying like he wants the guys to get wiped out
You want to
like
show
Frieza
yeah
did
yeah.
like
with
you want to show
Krillin and
you
all.
yeah no no like
Just
No,
you
that's
want
blow
to
my
show
their
thing.
how
asses
bad
up.
you want to show
When
how
Neji got
how
when
powerful
Neji
your
got
villains
outed,
are.
when Neji got outed, I was totally like, I was fine with Neji being killed at the end, right? I was
Yeah,
fine with Neji being killed at the end because it made sense. It did. It made sense that Neji died. You know what I mean?
yeah.
But what I will say is that even though it made sense that Neji died, um, I think Rock Lee and 1010 should have had a bigger moment. That should have been a bigger moment for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not Hinata. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, it should have been huge for Hinata, but it should have had a huge moment for Rock Lee where he actually, let's say he goes into like the 6th or 7th gate because of it.
yeah.
You know what I mean? We already know 1010's literally like doesn't do anything because they power crept her out of the show by the time the show gets halfway through. So like um the most they could have done was something. She could have been using her. She could have had, maybe they had a moment where with her, because she had part of the, they had part of Naruto's chakra during the 4th Great Ninja War, that
Yeah,
she was you could have saw her using the secret weapon, the secret weapons of the
yeah,
six pack, using
yeah,
all of them. You know what I mean? To show her technique of how good she is at actually using. God dang it! I feel like I'm doing
because that
people's
was
work
a
for
thing too.
them.
Yeah,
But
He's
like,
I
got
get
what?
you.
What about Super Saiyan 2?
like
No, no, not Super Saiyan 2.
1010
Oh,
saying too.
Yeah, we're talking about
oh.
1010 and her skills
It sounded
with
like you
being
said Super Saiyan 2. I'm
No,
like,
no,
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 what
no.
about Super Saiyan 2?
But like I said, like I think the big thing to me is that they just, Naruto is kind of one of those shows that I'll love it for its nostalgia,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
but at this point, yeah, it has a lot of flaws in there too. But I'm good. I'm glad with that. I'm good with that. And the reason why
yeah.
I'm good with that is because to me it means that it's a good building block for other shows.
Yeah.
I will say too. That's how you know. Like after you can tell good shows apart. Like when a show, when you look back at it and it has flaws, you can see like the show's good, but it's not perfect, and you see the flaws it has, and you're like, oh, we could probably correct those flaws with future projects, like you said.
The inspiration. It's like
Yeah,
me and you was talking about Big Three, the animes of the Big Three,
yeah,
and stuff like that. And I was like, if you really look at majority of the animes that are now, they're literally like how they even said when the guy had passed away, with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z, that most of their creations were inspired by him doing with Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball
yeah.
Z.
You guys know.
That's what showed how big of a cultural impact that just that anime let alone.
Well,
You
and that's
know, that,
that's the thing is when you create the big three, which a lot of people I think do put past the fact that it wasn't just Dragon Ball though. Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, because Sailor Moon showed a lot, especially a lot of girls in the anime, learning that they can be like
Oh,
Sailor Moon. They can be strong. You know what I mean?
speaking
yeah.
of
Be
the Sailor,
powerful.
I was gonna say, speaking of the Sailor Moon and Dragon Ball era, what's the third one? It's Dragon Ball,
It's
Sailor
Ronin
Moon.
Kenshin.
It's on a who?
Ronin Kenshin.
Oh, I didn't know about that. I always wondered what was the big three in the
Yeah,
Dragon
people
Ball
tried to
Sailor
take it
Moon
away
era.
because of the whole thing with the writer.
I
but
have no idea what's wrong with the writer.
I'm not talking about it right now.
Okay.
But like,
You're good. Don't worry about it. You can explain it later.
I'll
Send a
I'll
link
tell
to
you
it
about
on
it later.
Instagram. Okay.
It's just really bad, and I'm
Gotcha.
not talking about it on this show. Yeah, I would probably say it's Ronin Kenshin, because then I think people also forget too. Every generation has their big three that's going to be inspired by something else. So like
Yeah.
obviously here the big three would be, I think I call it like the almost like the grandpa big three. They're the I mean that Ronin Kenshin, and there's always outliers too. Ronin Kenshin, Dragon Ball, and Sailor Moon, and then there was the big three of Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Some people tried to say take
No.
Bleach out, and I told them that
Yeah.
they can go get fucked. So like,
I'm one of those people. Take the
like,
out.
oh no, dude,
Take
Bleach.
Bleach
I'm
out,
not gonna
man.
lie, Bleach is so much better, and I appreciate
And
it a lot more.
it's not like oh, I despise the anime. It's just like one of those animes I just could not get into because it just reminded me too much of Yu Yu Hakusho.
But
So it was just like,
I'm down with that because Yu Yu Hakusho is also really good. The one thing I will say is that Bleach, I think, compared to One Piece and compared to Naruto, I think Bleach does a good job of a little more subtext when
yeah,
it comes to the writing. It's not as, you actually have to have like a little bit of media reading literacy to kind of
my
understand
man said
Bleach.
to have a brain,
When
so you
people
need
say
to
that
have
like
at least
Ichigo
10%.
has like no,
Yeah.
they're like, oh, Ichigo has no person, he has no motivations. I'm like, no, his motivation is actually very clear. You just missed it because it wasn't screamed at you 8 fucking times in an
Yeah.
episode.
That's what I like about like Yu Yu Hakusho. It was like the guy was a
Yu Yu
teenager
Hakusho.
and like
Yep.
a bully. Everybody saw him as a bully and all this, and they just didn't like. I resonate with that because going through high school, that's how people was like, oh, well, he does martial arts, he does this, he does that, and all this, but they never really cared for the person that were actually inside. So when he like sacrificed himself to save the little kid, where the little kid wasn't even going to die, the more of that arc, the first arc was like the kid wasn't even gonna die. It wasn't in his destiny for him to jump in front and do things like that and like to go through life and like it was just like you can't judge a book by its cover. Like
Oh no, exactly.
I
Because
like
they kind of
those
did the
type
same
of
thing with Ichigo in the beginning, where he's kind of like this dude that he don't take crap from people. But like you also see though too, like there's a reason behind it. It's kind of like the things with there was the big fandom was ripped, especially in the anime community when it came to Bleach between Orihime and Rukia, right?
mhm.
Come to find out, I actually did not know this, is that a lot of the shit, like the little extra stuff they put in between Ichigo and Rukia was not actually even in the manga. Like it was put in by the studio, and that's what tainted that, because it was supposed to be like Orihime and Ichigo. It's supposed to be very, really early on. You can easily see that they both actually like each other, and I'm totally fine with that. But when you purposely, and I never got that from Rukia. Rukia to me seems like someone who would be much more of a big sister.
Now, do you think like when we have the transitions, right, from Japan to America, obviously, American English or whatever, that as Americans we need to respect the source of Japanese culture and like actually translate it as if it was in Japanese, just using English dub? Or do you think like with future anime and the way it's going? Because I don't watch the future stuff. I don't watch Juju. What is that?
Oh,
Jujutsu?
Jujutsu Kaisen's amazing.
Like I don't watch that. I try to get into Demon Slayer. And
Okay,
don't get me wrong. I like the edits and
what
the
you're
flash
saying
colors.
is more or less like, are you talking about the actual, like when they bring it over? I think to like at least for their dialogue and all that stuff, right?
No, I'm saying like as the source itself. Because remember how you just said that the relationship wasn't really like that in the manga, or they
Right.
have a relationship in the manga and they started early, but in America we just didn't put that because of the studios or whatever. Like, do you think if they're going based off of the manga and like the timeline of the mangas and stuff like that, that they should incorporate that as accurate as possible? You know what I mean?
I think you should. Yes. The problem that I had is that for example, I don't mind when little things get changed here and there, but that's a whole plot. That's a whole device thing. That's actually one of the reasons why one of Ichigo's motivations is Orihime.
Right.
And I gotta think of it too. Like he's a teenage boy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's gonna be motivated by sex.
Yeah, he's
so.
motivated by something, and it's obviously a lot of it was his mother and stuff, but it was also just Orihime because he liked Orihime and he wanted to rescue her. You know what I mean? So like when you purposely put in a sub thing with Rukia that was not even in there just to add stuff, and that wasn't from a Japanese to English. That was the Japanese. That was the Japanese animation group deciding to make this, adding an extra scene that didn't have nothing to do with it.
See, and that's now even hearing you say that, like they didn't pick that up.
That
Like
wasn't
the
a translation
Japanese
from
put.
Japanese to
I
English.
thought it was us trying to put our narrative in.
No, but they
like
have.
even
They
seeing
had
that,
moments where they did that, and so I come to a weird bit because I feel like there's certain things you can do. I know that one of the big ones was from I saw it a news article. It was Miss Kobayashi's Dragon Maid, where the lady in the dub part basically says something about along the lines of like the patriarchal societal norms or something like that, and she's like, well, it fit the like the flaps of when they talk, right?
Mm-hmm.
While it fit the flaps, you can't tell me that there was other things you could have done. Like you because there's certain buzzwords that you're going to say that are going to upset whatever group.
Yeah,
You know
trigger
what I mean?
words. Yeah,
There's certain buzzwords that people are going to latch onto, and I've it's kind of like God, it gives me the fucking I control my anger better than you vibe.
Yeah.
And that's the part that is difficult because I don't mind certain when if it fits better, if it really fits better. It was the
If it makes sense, it makes sense. But if it doesn't, then don't do it.
But yeah, I don't know.
That's how I felt when they decided to make like I think Robin, they changed the sexuality of like Robin and Superboy. And I was like, okay, that ideally that doesn't fit well, but I see where you're going with, and I'm not opposed to it, but like I just don't see it. And they was like, oh, it's a different universe. It's in this. I'm like, I was like, stop that. Like, just stop doing that because you got.
I hate when they bring in like a different, like a oh, this is a different universe version of the character. This is exactly what they did. They tried to do that with the fucking Halo thing, and look at it, it got canceled.
Yep.
So wait, what happened with the Halo thing?
Yeah,
they tried. I think they.
Hey, Locke, I forgot you were here. But like these.
Wait, what?
We're going deep in lores and stuff. He's like, wait, what?
Yeah, like I'll say. So the Halo, I think it was earlier on. I'm glad I'm not the only one who remembers this. Is that at one point they were talking about how like that they were saying that like, oh, this is a different universe Halo.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I forgot about there was a Halo live action series.
Well, you didn't miss much because now it's gone.
Yeah.
And then give it like 10 years, and then someone will be like, oh, 10 years later, is it still good?
No. Is it good? It never was.
But like I hate when they do characters like that. Like just respect the characters. And like there was a time where me and Yin was at a convention and Yin was off doing whatever, he does or whatever. And the guy asked me, and he was like, so, and I cosplayed as Michael Keaton as Batman. And he was like, how do you feel that one of your Robins are, I think he was like gay or like bisexual, whatever, right? And I was like, well, I mean, if you're gay and you dress up like him, then I don't see what's the problem. And he was like, well, we need the diversity of the kid. I'm like, bro, you just asking for the like most unutilized Robin. Yeah, like you're just using the unutilized Robin and like y'all just taking what I can get. Like all y'all gonna do is like when society corrects itself, because we already seeing it right now. Society is slowly correcting itself with all this political wokeness stuff that's going on. But when that fixes itself, and then you actually see people don't care what you do in your bedroom, just pay respects to those characters, then the world will be a much better place.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna throw a little bit of my own thoughts into this one because I agree. Well, I do agree. I understand like we need the diversity for blah blah blah. Okay, then go work on creating individual LGBTQ characters.
Yeah.
That's my god. That's me and Yin were both talking about that.
Yeah, because I think it was a couple months ago we were talking about it. All right, go ahead.
Let me finish. So what I'm gonna say is, or start pulling already established LGBTQ characters and try to
Mhm.
put them into the forefront. I actually am not really. I don't. I don't mind seeing like LGBT characters. I don't care because at the
Right.
end of the day, like to me, I do understand a good character is a good character. I do understand wanting the need to feel like you're represented. I get all that, but at some point you have to know that your character, who your character is, and all that. I mean, this is something that happened with I kind of think failed with the Acolyte. I'm going to use is because the actress is like comes out as she says she's non-binary, I believe. Okay,
Yeah.
so but it doesn't like your being non-binary does not mean anything to the character itself. You and the character are two separate things. You aren't the same because
Right. Two
it's like
entities.
Ryan Reynolds is not Deadpool. Thank God he's not, because that would make him an absolute psychopath.
Mhm.
I mean, he might be. I don't know. I've seen this shit with his fucking wife. So like
Yo.
his wife's under super fire right now. But like,
Wait, well, I'll have to look into
we'll
that
get into
later.
that a little bit later. We'll get to, I'll
Yeah.
tell you about that a different time. But like, I feel like I understand the need for representation. I understand that, but I want to see other like unless the character is so like okay, I'm gonna use the Scarab. Do you know who the Scarab is?
No.
No.
Okay, cool. That was the woman from Moon Knight.
Wow.
Oh.
That's actually
Shit.
originally a man.
What?
Yes, the Scarab was originally a man. Yeah, because it doesn't fucking
So
matter
they token.
because he's literally so relevant. And
So they tokenized it.
when anybody tries to say like when it comes to wokeness, I always refer them to the boys.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the reason why I refer them like the boys, I was like Madeline Stillwell, Victoria Newman, and Stormfront.
Oh yeah, because
They were
they
originally those
gender
are all
swapped
men
them.
in the actual
Yeah.
in the comic. In the
Yeah.
comic, those are all men, and they're all women in this the other version of them.
Right.
You just don't care because either A, you don't know, but or B, you just only care because they're hot.
Yeah.
I would say this: who is a fan of the boys? I never read the comic books. I didn't even knew they had a comic book until recently, but I didn't even hear about those three characters being originally men.
And what's funny
So
is
now knowing that, I just like the show because it was just showing for me the reality of like if people really had superpowers, how different people will be with these powers. You know what I'm saying?
Well, but that's the
And
thing.
stuff
But
like that.
kind of comes back to what I said before when it comes to the whole like the wokeness and shit like that.
Right.
If you don't
Yeah.
bring it up, nobody gonna fucking care.
Yeah.
Like, so it's just the fact that you are, like I was watching Baby Reindeer, right? A fantastic show. It's actually about a male dealing with abuse and like the dangers that he had to go through. It's a really good show. It's on Netflix. You need to watch it. Okay, but one of the thing is his girlfriend is trans in the show. The actress is trans, right? Never would have known, but they also make a point of it. I think maybe it is how it is in the actual. I don't know if it is in the actual his real life events or anything too. But I thought that was very interesting. You know what I mean? Nobody thought anything about it. Nobody brought anything up. Nobody thought anything about it. The problem is that you bring attention to yourself. Like I'm excited to bring in this whole cast of PO. I don't know. Yang, this is gonna sound really mean. You black man?
Yeah.
Okay, I am too. I'm not gonna lie.
I ain't gonna lie. I can tell by the way he talked. I was like, yeah.
There's a reason behind it. There's a reason why I ask. Because as a I'm not gonna lie, as a black dude, I can't stand having people talk for me.
Right.
And I'm not gonna lie, I don't like being called a person of color. I hate that. Just call me black.
Right.
Call me black. And I always get so agitated because I see these like people who are, they're like, oh, we don't have the representations. And I'm like, you could have if you just pull up the actual characters that fucking mattered.
Yeah.
I mean, Luke Cage did amazing.
Yeah. I watched that twice.
Luke Cage. Everyone loves Luke Cage. Who's another character that people like for a long time? Or people like? MM. MM from the boys.
Yep.
Like he's another black dude. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like we have it. Fuck it.
I was
like the whole. I'm like, you can't. I told people like, you can't be racist and grew up on Static Shock.
Yeah.
You cannot. Oh my god! Like I was like,
and you see, okay, so you remember the episode where even then he talked about it, and then he was like, "Well, we need more black." He was like, and then when Static
I
Shock
remember
went
that
to
episode.
Africa. Remember when Static Shock went to Africa and he was like, "Oh, I thought I was we need more black superheroes or something like that." And he was like, "Well, stop looking for it and be it." Like
Yes.
we have shows that literally like direct us and
Like,
like
how
showed
did
us
the
the way.
whole
How did we
generation that
get here?
grew up on it literally toss it aside and then scream foul when all of a sudden we're like, well, we don't have this any. I'm like, yo, we have black superheroes.
Yup.
We just don't put them up because you
Or
guys
we don't
want to.
talk
You guys
about
are
it.
so hell bent on trying to deconstruct them and all that. But like, let's see what they stand on. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
That's
Just
what
like I
like when
see, like
people
when I
was
see
like,
there's good LGBT heroes out there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Let them. I mean, people were totally fine with the relationship between Harley Quinn and Ivy. They didn't
yeah,
think anything of it.
yeah. I didn't give to. I mean, at the end of the day, like most, I'm not
Also,
going to
Harley
even
Quinn and
sound.
Ivy. You know
I'm
what
not
I
even going to try to sound sexist or
mean?
nothing, but I can
Mm.
give two shit about Harley. I just want a good story. I
Well,
want an
my thing
honest,
is, but the thing
true
is, but
story.
what I'll say, I'm actually going to push back on that a little bit, and because I agree, but the problem is a lot of people don't understand what a good story is.
Yeah,
They don't know what a good story is because you really think about it. A lot of like they'll be like, "Oh, Marvel gives these great great stories." I'm like, I'm not gonna lie to you. Doctor Strange: The Multiverse of Madness is a prime example of a total mid story.
told you,
It gets
told
messy.
you, Yen.
It gets
Suck
messy
it,
Whoa,
as
whoa!
fuck.
suck it,
I never said it was perfect. Whoa.
suck
I was
it.
like, Marvel, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness is very all over the place
You
and
give people
doesn't
fucking
it not in
magic,
a
they
good
just
way.
get stupid.
Like yeah, it's just it's wild. And you know, Black Panther is one that I've said before. I've watched it multiple times, and every time, if it's Michael B. Jordan, basically carries the movie because the movie itself is kind of mid.
Yeah,
It's really mid. I don't
Another
think it's
one.
dog shit, but I don't think it's really all that good. It's really
you
lifted
could.
up because of everything around it.
Yeah, it was
Another
just a
example
black
would be
movie, and it's like everybody carried it.
another example would be Love and Thunder.
I haven't seen Love and Thunder, and I don't want to.
No,
Eh,
it could have been a hell of a lot better.
eh,
Yeah, Yang says it all.
eh. It's that movie that you sit there, you look at what you paid for to go see it. You're just like,
You
I could have used this for something else.
I was gonna say Afro. You know the meme with the brave dad, and it goes no, not brave. I think it was the Godfather meme when it's like, look what they did to my boy. They massacred him. That's
Yeah.
gore. That's what they did with the God Busher. They
Look what they did
massacred
to
my
my boy.
boy.
Actually, your boy's a they now. But
Wait, what?
I was like, look what they
Wait,
did to my boy. Actually, your boy's a they now.
oh no! But no,
But like,
they butchered it.
but no, like I think like you know the thing is that I think a lot of people like they like enjoyable stories because
Yeah,
you can have a movie that literally tells nothing and just goes boom 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 and people are like, dude, that show was pretty fucking good.
Sounds
It
like
really made me-
Transformers.
Like
yeah,
yeah,
Like, sounds like me.
yeah,
Sounds like me.
yeah. It sounds like
Got some
you.
bright colors.
like that literally, and I don't have to say much because we do it every year. It's called 4th of July.
It's not my fault.
Like they're like, hey, you know that
they
like
attract my ADHD
did you like
autistic
you know that like
mind.
all the like America had it's got its freedom, yeah, but that freedom also came with boom boom shut up and watch the fireworks.
Yeah.
Like that's literally yeah. And then at least there's like at least the
No.
police that's where they get their big paydays. So
Yeah.
like
Oh, I can't breathe.
but like
He said, "That's
Boom, boom,
me."
boom, 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 boom. Colors, pretty colors.
but like
Yeah, you're easily distracted though.
It is.
yeah, but but
it's
so is
me
the rest
being
of
real
so is a
spicy.
lot of
Okay?
America. A lot of America is super easily distracted. So
Yeah,
much to the point that they had to make all the fucking fruity pebbles look the same or whatever.
yeah,
Like or no,
They
there's
did my other boy.
tricks
They
the trick
massacred
cereal
them
now
too.
just comes in like regular circles and it's
Yeah.
because
The
they
massacre in my childhood.
coming out Fruit Loops.
yeah, but like but no, like I think overall, you know, when I look at like shows when people are because I'm kind of I realize now being in my 30s and I'm like you know I've heard this woke and I'm not gonna lie to you.
Damn, that's woke.
Shut
That's
up.
woke.
So
But
like,
it's got some time.
but like I'm gonna say most people don't know what woke is
Yeah,
Yeah.
because woke isn't black.
yeah,
Okay, woke isn't race. Like, but as soon as you put like a black lady in like the main spot, they instantly are
Uh-oh.
like, oh, it's woke as fuck. But like, how
Uh-oh.
is it? Like
Uh-oh.
you instantly
Wait, what I
mad
missed? I
because they
heard
show like, you know what I mean? I was like,
Yeah.
because guess what? You ain't gonna say it's woke when Storm walks in.
No.
You ain't gonna say it woke. It's not woke when when T'Challa. And also,
Yeah.
I'm like, half of y'all don't know what woke is because you just say it when like assuming that because they're a different race, they're instantly like that's just stupid.
I
And
think too,
Hollywood's
because
been
like,
playing. I'm like, Hollywood's been playing all you dumb motherfuckers for years.
yeah, because they'll take like a good solid character, and then like either gender swapped it or race, you
Yeah,
know what
but
I
that's
mean?
no, no,
Race
no.
switched
That's
it.
not
It's
exactly where I'm
like,
getting at because you can do a good job with them. What I'm saying is that you start injecting your own political biases
oh, okay, yeah,
into I'm not saying that I'm not saying shows can't have political messaging because
Face.
every media has political messaging. Like even shows like Star Wars has political messaging behind
yeah,
it. Like that's called your fucking themes.
Yeah.
Like but I will say though that some of it is how it's written. There's a reason why Attack on Titan is so well written, and people
Aaron
love it. Is
Yeager.
because it's really like you know that there's a lot of political messaging in there, right? But it's also between government corruption. There's like racism. There's all that stuff that deals with there's multiple things in there. But like
right.
it's how it's written and told in there. I don't need She-Hulk to all of a sudden get hit
Cram
on
it down your throat.
once by a bunch of guys who are like, we're here for 3 minutes and we'll never be seen again. You know what I mean? I don't need that. Like that's not what I'm trying to, you know what I mean?
That was me.
No,
I
you're
put
good.
that.
I'm not that's not what I'm trying to I don't want to I don't need to see that. But it needs to be cleverly done.
Yeah,
I think it
yeah,
needs
I
to
see
be
what you're
put in,
saying.
but it also shows that's good writing technique.
Yeah,
That's good writing technique. And I think being able to portray your message and like without
and
having
not
it to feel like,
bashing it over the head.
yeah, you know,
Yeah, I got you.
like honestly, Cassandra Nova, I think and I've seen this not just from my perspective, but for a lot of them, God, it's just good to have a fucking bad guy be a bad guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like she is just she's basically there. There's not really a whole lot like, oh my God, I need to see what made her into this point. You really don't care.
Yeah, remember they
Absolutely
asked
batshit
her, they was
psycho.
like, "Why are you so evil?" She was like, "I don't know."
Just
I just am.
Yeah, and just started fucking
Yeah.
people. I was like, "What the hell?"
and that's what the thing is. Like that's why I love. I mean, you can have a villain. This is why I think this generation and there's two big villains. I'm going to bring out two big villains, and you're going to know because they're on two sides. Well, you're not going Yang. I was only going to stop in for like maybe 10 minutes. But like,
Hey, we have that effect on people. Continue.
Yeah,
I got nothing else going on. But the rest of the day. So, but I will say that what is his name? Shigaraki from My Hero.
I don't know
never
that
watched
one.
My Hero, Rocky. Yeah.
Sukuna from Jujutsu Kaisen.
I don't know any
So
of them.
the reason why I'm going to bring up those two because they are two different sides of how to tell villains. Shigaraki is definitely more, and this without going into like spoilers. Shigaraki is more of a more tragic villain.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Horrible backstory gets brought up. You know what I mean? Like,
And
but he still takes wrong turns, gets easily influenced. It's much more of how society just lets people fall between the cracks, and what happens when someone who falls between the cracks ends up with an immense amount of power.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you have the other one, which is Sukuna. Sukuna is the king of the curses. All right, he is that big motherfucker. He's a perfect, a villain that he understands all this. He understands like, oh, someone was trying to sympathize with him, right? And they're like, yeah, I get it. I just don't care.
Yeah.
Like that is
kind of like the
villains that you can tell, but they both have to be done in a way, and that's where some of my issues come in is that y'all want the payoff, right? The payoff of the big villain, but you won't put in the work because there's a lot of work that got Shigaraki to that point.
Right.
Just
it's kind of like
a lot
with
of work that got Aizen when you got that Aizen reveal for the first time, when you realize that he's the bad guy, he made up all that shit. Oh, absolutely. That's the one thing I will say that the big three that Naruto didn't have. But I will say I shouldn't. Let me take that back. There's one character that they actually did do a good job foreshadowing Because I'll say Naruto did a pretty decent job. It doesn't. The thing about Naruto is it does a lot of things good, just not great.
All right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the one thing I will say they did a really good job foreshadowing, and that's Madara,
Oh yeah.
the reveal of Madara.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say the way you described the other two characters, it kind of like reminds me of like Heath Ledger and Joaquin Phoenix.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Like you see one guy just want to watch the world burn just because, and then you have one that society just disregard and like all this.
But here's the thing. I'm also
Like,
gonna let you know that this is something that you might disagree. Arthur Fleck was already not a good person.
Oh yeah, for sure.
He was not a good person to start with. From
Yeah.
the beginning of the series, a lot of people think, "Oh, he was already a type of person that was." I mean, he was manipulated. Don't get me wrong, any of that. He's still a tragically, but I don't think he was necessarily. He was already a very unhinged person to show that one bad day kind of thing. Now, I will say, I love a bad guy who's just unapologetically evil.
Yeah.
And there's no bad guy, in my opinion, no villain more unapologetically evil than Frieza. And that's why that's why
Frieza don't give two
I'm
fucks.
sorry.
No,
I'm
but that's
sorry
what I'm
because all
saying
I
is-
hear from Yin is die, you monkeys.
Oh, yeah, monkeys.
But what I say, here's the thing
Monkeys
though,
this.
that's interesting is what I'll say though too is that's why I love Sukuna, because Sukuna is like a new gen Frieza in a way. Well, Frieza is this kind of like spoiled, like, you know, the spoiled brat. He's honestly just a spoiled brat with immense amount of power.
Yeah.
Sukuna is very much the like
And then
I
Napoleon
have a
complex.
backstory. It doesn't fucking matter. Like it's, you know what I mean. All that matters is the fact that I'm on top, and if you want to gain my respect, you have to kill me.
Yeah, you gotta want my ass. Yeah.
Now-
Yen was saying that too in
He
the
won't
movie
even call
theaters.
you by your name. Here's the best thing. This is what I love about it. He won't even call you because throughout the series, he's kind of like if the Ninetales was just didn't give a fuck.
Oh.
Yeah,
that's
what I'm saying.
That's cool. That's cool.
That's why I'm like he just don't.
He just tell it how it is.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Like he because it's kind of like you know, like you have like Naruto and Kurama, right? But like you have Yuji and Sukuna, and there's it's like early on, it's like maybe like a couple chapters in or a couple episodes in.
So he's like Eddie Griffin almost in a way
like
where
at
he's
one
just
point,
a full blown racist and
not just about being racist. No, he's not. But the thing is, he not racist. Because
no, but I'm saying like he's there, like he will let you know if he is. You know?
No,
what I'm saying?
yeah. But no, actually, I don't think he is. Like, you're not saying like he wouldn't be racist because none of that actually means anything to him. You're like the race means nothing. All that matters to him. He grew up in an era.
Basically saying our problems are just petty little problems.
Yeah. He grew up in an era of strength, right? He grew up in an era where it was constant war. This dude is the type of dude who's taken on full ass armies. He don't care what you look like. The only thing he cares is what strength you can provide for him until he dies. Like he is a walking calamity. Like, and he's just like, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I love about a villain. And the thing is, and just like I said, the thing with Frieza is Frieza kind of, I think the mystique of Frieza also kind of turned into a joke at this point. But I think with someone like Sukuna, what I love about it is the fact that Sukuna is so much of like, I understand when someone's like, you know, I understand you're trying to connect with me. I just don't feel.
Yeah.
I don't feel anything for it. None of it matters to me.
Like that. Yeah.
Now, like, just shut up and let's fight. That's pretty much it. And I'm just
throw
like,
those hands or just die.
That is, and then I'm like, I have all like the fact, and the thing also I love too when you have a villain like this is that they're smart, right? They like Sukuna is so smart. Like, well, then that's one thing. God, I'm glazing this motherfucker up. Like, I'm just meat riding.
So
yeah,
so
I'm like, oh my god.
What he's saying is he likes super villains that got Black Force energy. All right, Black Air.
Yeah, I know what that means.
They stand on 10 toes, and that's it.
I love Locke is just like, no.
Yes. I know what that means.
Guys. Like,
no, I do. Black Force energy. I know what that means.
That
means fuck around and find out.
How do you feel about the fact that me and Yen talked about this briefly in the movie theaters? But how do you feel about the fact that they're trying to take villains and give them this make people feel sad, like how they did with
Oh,
Thanos and like
sympathize. How
yeah,
they'll try,
sympathize villains.
or another example too is they're turning basically bad guys into not bad guys, like
Okay, so I don't.
Venom or Morbius. I think Morbius. I haven't seen that in a while. I saw it one
I
time,
haven't seen
and
Morbius.
possibly Craven.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to those characters, I don't care because I really don't know much about them.
But the main topic is just turning
Like the
bad
general
guys
top,
into
yeah,
not into
Into like
turning bad
general
guys into
anti-hero
not
kind of
bad
thing.
guys, like
yeah.
anti-heroes.
Honestly, I don't know. It really, I think I'm kinda. It depends on what it is. Like when it went to like Venom, Venom just became an MCU joke, in my opinion. They just turning it into like an MCU version of whatever they're trying to do.
Yeah, I can
Like
see it.
Craven, it's because they're not using the Spider-Man. They're not trying to use Spider-Man because Spider-Man's over with Marvel at the moment. So, yeah. Honestly, I've really not put much thought into it, so I've just never given a fuck. But now, if you said like while they're trying to take characters and trying to sympathize them, because that's a different story. I don't think there's anything wrong with a sympathetic villain. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just
They still need to have black forces on though.
well, yeah.
So they still need to stay. I don't need a villain to feel like, oh, this happened because this and whatever. All right, cool, but still handle your business. Like this is
Now,
what we need.
speaking of villains and whatnot, and going back to Frieza. Now, after I don't know if I told you this, but an idea I had for me and Yang for Comic-Con, he's Goku, I'm Frieza.
I told him that's not a good idea.
No, that's a total good idea, and then I can
No,
say
that's
Monkey
not.
without getting in trouble.
Brat.
Okay. How about we switch roles? I would be
You
Goku,
might want
and
to
Yang can be
rethink. You might want to
Frieza.
rethink that one.
Yeah, because you also got, like I told you, I'm black, you're white.
I'm white?
The moment
Shut
you
up.
call me monkey, everybody is gonna lose their shit.
Oh
Okay,
yeah, you getting jumped, bro.
What if we role swap? I'll be Goku.
It's not gonna. No, stop it.
No,
Damn.
because then
Yeah,
it still look. And then you got the, like we was just saying about the like society itself. All this going to look is like you're pandering to whatever political side, and then they're like, oh look, they're using they're using reverse psychology on us. Look, see, a black man is calling a white man a monkey. Like how? No, you're supposed to
bold on them
like, no.
citizens to know what reverse psychology is.
No, because it's already happened. Like Afro at our locals that when we play Digimon at, right? Literally nonstop. That's all I get. Just because of who I'm gonna vote for, whatever the case may be, not trying to get political on it, whatever. But literally, they try to get me kicked out of 2 establishments just because I don't share the same viewpoints. They always trying to talk, oh, well, I'm gonna speak for you because I'm white and you're this and that. And I'm like, no, that's not how it's gonna work. You know what I mean? Yo, just because you feel that way, I don't need it. It's just like how you were saying about like when people say, oh, color, or trying to speak on behalf of black people. Like we're not all the same, but we all can agree on one thing. Like we just both agree. We don't like when white people talk for us. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like, okay, so I get it. You might have opposing viewpoints. I if someone were to be like, if I were to walk into an area and like into a zone, especially a neutral area where you're trying to play fucking Digimon, and that they're like, oh, well, what is your political stance? You just tell them that's none of your business. Like what I'm here to play Digimon. You know what I mean?
I mean, it is kind of hard that like I usually bring my water flask that has. Obviously, you can tell. You get what I'm saying? There's nothing hiding.
Well, no, there's nothing wrong. So, okay,
you know what I mean?
I don't. You ever know that I don't bring up my political sides on stuff like when it comes to that because if it doesn't have anything. Now, right. I mean, if they're like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're blah blah blah," you just tell them that's not why we're here. Oh, I just hit my own desk. Ouch. But like,
damn.
Yeah, no, and that's the thing. Like. If they start going like, oh, I can't be with someone or be, playing against someone, I'm like, I mean, I guess I can do it. The most I'll do is I'll put that away. You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean,
It won't
yes,
just
it is
like I'm not changing myself based off of your rhetoric that you feel uncomfortable. Like
r-
that just doesn't.
right. Like I'll put it away for you, and or if it's really that big of a deal, I mean, just get a different water flask. You know what I
Right.
mean? Bring one, have that one for daily, and then one for when you have to go into this place.
Because
Sometimes
yeah,
it's better just to because you're not like, let's say, it's better just to take the L now, and then just not worry about it. Because otherwise, yeah, is it I'm standing on business. They already because guess what? The cat's are out of the bag. They know who you're voting for. It
right.
don't matter. So if I come in and I got let's say I just got a plain water bottle, right?
Uh,
They're still like, oh, I ain't going, I can't. Well, now that looks bad on them because that phone feels like, because that looks to me, at least what I see is that you're coming after me because of my political affiliation. I even made a judgment to move the water bottle because if that made you guys that uncomfortable to be like that, you know what I
Cause
mean?
see, like that's my G too. Like you know how like you're saying like you would want someone to tell you and stuff. These are what's the term? Keyboard warriors. They're keyboard warriors. So they'll go behind your back and try
Oh
to do all these
yeah,
things.
because they're like, what is it? They would be mad quiet unless they would whisper to themselves, and then as soon as they leave, there's a Discord server for Digimon, and like they would just complain about it on the Discord.
Or like cause the one guy was
And
like just
call them out.
nonstop, just
Call them out
not.
straight up, bro. Like,
No,
if
I
they're
did
like,
that. I did
yeah,
that, right?
good. Because
And
if
then I
if
was
you're gonna
like,
go and be like, yo, I know you're talking about me. I don't know why. Like, if we could have this conversation as adults, and that's what I would tell them. Like, this is really funny that you put it up here. We could have this conversation talking about it as adults. In a specific setting. I'm not opposed to that. But when you come on here and then you start coming after me, that looks really bad on you because it means that you couldn't even walk in. If you're that big of a trigger, then you probably that's a you problem.
right,
I feel like even if like there's people who have opposing viewpoints that I just vehemently disagree with,
right,
but like unless they're like I'm literally like I don't know like bombing children, for the most part we should be okay with that. You know what I mean?
right.
It's
Like
different than like
I feel like people can have different political views or whatever, but that shouldn't take away from the humanity aspect
well,
of
it's also
treating
not
each
why
other.
you're fucking there.
Right.
Like I'm there
But
to
I'm
play
saying like
Digimon. I'm not there to discuss politics with you. I mean,
right.
granted,
Right.
I will say,
But like
hold on, because I also I know I'm sure you probably know this too. There's a bit of a devil's advocate there.
mhm.
Like, you already outed yourself. If I were you, I'd just get a different water flask.
Oh,
I'm
because
more
if
on
you
the
hold on,
because I'm
because if
more
you
on the
get
thing like I just don't care. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, like I had put like you said, call them out. So when they did all that through the Discord or whatever, I was like, you know what, I'm about to set my boundaries here. Y'all can say whatever and whatever the case may be. But at the end of the day, I know for a fact you're not about to do nothing. You're not gonna say it to my face or whatever the case may be. But what I'm not about to do is have y'all sit here and disrespect me or whatever. Now y'all can be stupid and fuck around and find out. But other than that, respect me like I will respect you. And I left it like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then the following week, went back, we playing Digimon. I didn't even have none of my stuff on me. Like I did the same thing like what you were saying. Didn't have none of that, right? And then not even seconds later, I'm real cool with the shop owner. Like really, really cool. And he walked up on me and was like, yo, we need to talk. So we talked. They was like, yo, they want me to kick you out because they said that you was gonna beat them up in the store, all this and that and the third, yada yada yada. And he was like, I looked at him and was like, yo, that's not my dude. My dude is not about that. He's not gonna do it in here. Now, if you pushed him and he did do it, then that's different because you invoked it, like you kind of like provoke violence. Because you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
antagonize
yeah.
me to the point to do it. So it's like they've been trying to get me canceled and like kicked out of certain establishment just
Well,
because. And
I think
mind
that's
you,
why you need to. Okay, so what I would have said, if set up, you said set your boundaries instead of talking about the squaring up kind of thing. I would have just said, like, if you want to have, just I would have just ended at that conversation part, right? If you want to talk about it, that's fine. But I agree. What you're not gonna do is you're not gonna disrespect me. Like, you're not gonna disrespect me because I'm not disrespecting you.
right,
You know. So like at the fact that, and that's the thing too, and this is why it's kind of like we've learning that like reputation damage is becoming so much more as I've learned that not just as people, I should say, is that the damage from one's reputation can hurt so much more than what fists can.
Right.
And it's kind of scary in a way. Because it's like I get what you're saying. I agree. I'm glad that you were able to stand on yourself. You know what I mean? Stand on business. Be like, hey, you ain't gonna talk about me like that. You know what I mean? But you also gotta remember that these people are probably also a bunch of fucking weirdos.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah, they
But
are.
like
I'm
they're
not gonna
just
lie. As much
the
as
average
like,
fight.
people, okay, so here's something that's kind of funny. Is I told someone like, oh, I went to an anime convention, and they're like, oh my god, there had to be so cool. Yeah, it's pretty cool when you get past the fact that half of these people literally have social anxiety.
Yeah.
Like they're the types. They're pretty much keyboard warriors. They're the types that aren't really gonna say anything. Also, I'm not gonna I'm not gonna try to not gonna. I'll talk about it after the show. But the thing that always got me was I personally love anime conventions. I was just at one earlier this month, and I'm planning to go to another one soon ish, like a couple months from now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And well, as much as I love them, yeah, I think people need to like also like, because I mean, you go to these anime conventions, they probably go to the same conventions,
Right.
like they at the same places that you at. So I don't really understand the purpose of them talking so much shit to you.
That's how I felt too. Like we all love the game, we all here, whatever the case may be. Like I just feel like just in society itself, like either it's anime or whatever the walks of life, we're all in the same shit blender. And like to have certain things just because of a name or whatever to really divide us in that way is really crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Well,
And like
I mean,
to
like
sit
here's the
there,
thing: it's over in because obviously it's political stuff is always going to be
oh
a
yeah,
huge
it's a
topic.
sensitive, yeah, it's a
It's a
sensitive
very
topic.
sensitive thing, and that's why I don't like. I try personally not to discuss political stuff too much, but what I will discuss is like you said, that being disrespected because of the beliefs. Unless your beliefs are like blatantly, I can definitely understand. There's always going to be a bit of nuance.
Right. Like I can understand if somebody was very radicalized, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, you don't
so
feel you
far,
don't.
you'd be like, wait, whoa, we cannot just talk about, like, we're not going to skip. It's like that one moment, like in the show, like there was a TikTok, and it was like the skit was like, yo, I was talking to my girl, blah blah blah, and I ate 6 cookies out of her ass.
What the
And then the
fuck?
guy was like, wait, whoa, wait a minute. Like, we're not about to skip over that part. Like certain things like that that you cannot skip over is like, that's the things I'll focus on. But like if it's just stupid things like, oh, I got feet fetish, I can be like, I can care less.
Well, my thing is that
You know,
yeah, no, I
like
definitely
I can care less what that part. Like you want to do that? All right, cool. I just don't want to know about it.
yeah.
But
Well, I didn't really care to know about the eating cookies part either because I'm not
no, but it was a
like I'm
TikTok though. That's what threw
no,
me. Like
that's a TikTok that did. Yeah, they could have just stayed on TikTok. Like, what kind of TikTok do you go to? Like,
oh, me and Yin watch this. We have the same TikTok account. We have access to one. I don't know what Yin is watching. That's the
I ain't
question,
watching. You know me. I don't do butt stuff. That is an exit
bruh.
door only.
Bruh, that doesn't mean you won't take no cookies out.
No, exit door only.
All
I don't
right.
I'm
touch it.
sorry, guys. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know what I just got. I just opened up a fucking bag of worms.
Nah. Yin is on some other things. Like
Yeah, I
but
can tell.
we share a joint
Cookies all
TikTok
good
account.
though.
See what I mean?
He's like, "Oh, we
But
all good." Yeah, I bet you are.
yeah, but
You're all
no,
good.
but like certain topics that you just necessarily can't skip over. You know what
Oh
I'm
no, of course.
saying? But like shit like that, but it gets to the point where it's like, where, like how you said, as adults, why can't we just have this conversation? Why do people got to be? And it's not only me, you know what I'm saying? We have a friend that's Muslim, and like they mistreat him, you know what I mean, and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that. So you kind of sit there and you're like, y'all so pro this, but then you're doing this, and then it's the controversial, like the hypocrisy. Then when you expect people to bend to your will and the way you live, but not all of us live the same way.
Let
you
me
know, the
pause
same
you really quick,
environment.
Yang, because I'm gonna do the little outro. We can still have the conversation once I end the stream, but
Yeah,
alright, so
well, yeah. Just
yeah, we're getting close to the 2 hour mark, so I just wanted to
Okay.
say, Afro, thanks for the surprise visit. Yang, thank you for this last minute invitation as well.
Yeah. And yo,
Again, Yang, we can still talk once I end the stream because I didn't want to stop you guys. But yeah, so Afro, please let everybody know your social media stuff so they know where to follow you.
Yeah, so you guys can catch me up on YouTube. I'm not as active on there, but Afrofish OG, the same one. Otherwise, my TikToks, you'll see a lot more gaming stuff of the same name. Also, I also do a podcast. Been trying to find a way to get it more more like consistent, but I do have one potentially next week where me and another guy will be discussing red pill.
Red Pill.
ooh, the topic.
Yes, and why
Ooh,
red pill is pretty much at this point it's destroying people.
What's
oh
Red Pill?
man, don't worry about it. It's above your pay grade.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
It's above your
Okay,
pay grade. Don't worry about
okay,
it.
day, okay,
So,
day. And then when it comes to myself and Yang, you can find us in the four corners of the social medias here: Instagram,
Boom,
YouTube,
boom, boom, and
TikTok,
boom.
and our email. We do have Twitter, but we just have it to look pretty.
Yeah,
We don't really go on it. But yeah, guys.
Mostly Yin do the social media, like
Yeah,
the
except for,
communication
again,
and stuff.
except for Twitter. That is a cesspool I'm not ready for. I've
Yeah,
heard the rumors. I don't want to go into
yeah,
that cesspool. No,
yeah.
thank you. But with that out of the way, guys, I hope you all enjoy it, and we will see you on the next podcast for the Nerds Corner. I'll see you all on flip side. Peace.
Peace.
later.